Hey everybody! Play It Forward returns again here in the Loading Ready Run Entertainment Network. It's Beej. I have a I have a weird shirt on today, and I'm not happy with it. I feel I need a different shirt to wear. Also, though, before we get started, I'm gonna change my shirt. I have a feeling that was it's like I have to do things to get ready for the stream, and this is like I'm not really. I like this shirt, but it wasn't what I was planning on wearing today. It's not like I had a special shirt in mind, but that's fine. We'll figure this out. But what we're also gonna figure out, this audio thing's been bugging me, and I want to fix it. So before we actually play Betrayal at Krondor, we're gonna just try to see if I can adjust the sound settings in the file before we start it up, and that should not be a problem. I'm not going to show you what's going on. I'm just going to make a couple changes, explain what I am doing to see if it actually makes a difference, and we're just going to kind of start the game up and then turn it off and start the game up and turn it off real fast. We're not going to do all the other edits to try to, change the sound driver and do whatever. No. I'm just going to try to adjust the mixer because I saw a thing that says, here's what you're supposed to change to make this actually change. So, let's see. Also, let's actually explain the show. Play It Forward. I long play a game. We all kind of do that kind of thing, and that is something that you guys on Twitch help support, and it's the people at YouTube. If you subscribe to our YouTube memberships and you help share the videos and all that stuff too, that you guys are helping to support on patreon.com/loadingreadyrun. Those of you who back on the Patreon, you are backing that as well and helping us keep the lights on and do stuff. And also the store.loadingreadyrun.com. We have all sorts of wares. If you have coin, that's a different game. And there will be no haggling. The prices are firm. But I certainly don't mind if you go and spend some money, obviously, there if you want to get some cool swag. And if there is cool swag that is currently out of stock, add your email address. That's how I know that people are waiting on things, and it's how you'll get notified when the stuff comes back into stock if we decide to do it. There is stuff on the page where there's only like one or two people who are interested in getting something, and you might never hear from us again regarding that because we might not make a new thing of that. I'm waiting on a large version of this one shirt, and it's like, we're probably not going to print more of that shirt. And the only thing we have left in stock is like a few smalls and mediums, so we're waiting for those to go on, but yeah. Anyway, let me try to fix this. So what I saw online is that, and funny enough, people on GOG talking about this a lot, because music is too loud. CD music is too loud. How do I turn this down? One dude back in 2012 or was it that one? No, it was one dude who was in 2014 being like, don't link me to the manual or tell me to Google. I've been doing it for days and it doesn't work. Yes, I know that apparently, what does he say? Using Mixer Master 2020 fixes it, but I've tried this and have not been told where to put it, so the solution's a bunch of crap. Just give me a fix. And then somebody jumped in to be like, oh yeah, you need to edit A file and B file. So there's the files that you edit end in the word single. It's, I think, the thing that helps to, it's basically, I believe, it's a batch file for loading of DOS, that here's the things that are just going to get done. And so the one thing they recommend is Mixer CD audio 60:60. That's left channel, right channel, 60:60. So I tried that. The CD audio didn't sound any different, so now I'm going to set it to 1010 to see if it gets really quiet. And we're just going to launch Betrayal at Krondor again. And in fact, I'm even going to have a look to make sure that... Okay, there's my shortcut. Properties is a shortcut, because I still remember how to do all this stuff. It is... the shortcut is to launch DOSBox, which it does, and it's 0.74, so it's like the newest version, I guess. Conf files named are DOSBox back conf and DOSBox back single conf, no console, and then -c exit. That's fine. Let's see what the audio sounds like if the CD audio is just completely out of control. It should be super quiet. That's a MIDI sound. That's almost perfect. Like, can you guys hear this comfortably? Because I can hear it comfortably. I can turn the CD audio up a bit, but what you heard at the beginning was the crackles. That was the MIDI sound playing back. Let's just go to the menu. Can you hear that? You should barely be able to hear that one sound, I think. Yeah, it's not really happening. It's kind of there. Did you hear the fire? The manacles. And the kind of weird thing that was not really there. Take CD audio down even more? Okay, we can do that. All right. We'll take it down a little bit more. So we're going to drop back to DOS. And I think you're going to see nothing on the screen. Yeah, that's just what happens. It only captures that one thing, so that's cool. If I take this down to 5%, 5%, will that be sufficient? I could maybe also turn the MIDI up, but I wonder if I told it master 100, 100, and then CD audio. That's a MIDI sound. Listen for the lightning. This is supposed to be a really subtle sound. All right. Give me 1 second. We're going to just quit to DOS one more time. We're going to set mixer master a lot higher. In fact, we're going to set mixer master to 100 and 100. And then we'll set CD audio to 5%. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. I want to do this. That's apparently saved. And one more. Excuse me. I'm going to slide the audio down for 50% just for myself. Okay, no, I have to have that quite high. Turn this up a lot, but all right. I'm going to turn the game down even more, though. Okay, that will be fine. I'm gonna accept that as I'm gonna accept that as like that'll do. In the future, if I figure out how to get this thing to use Sound Blaster drive, which I imagine is probably just because I think it's just using general MIDI drive. The Sound Blaster one I think has if I'm using that instead of MIDI, then that would be even better. Right now the Sound Blaster config is saying that it use an SB16 because that's what these things supported back in the day. It has all the stuff set up using SB Mixer. We're not. You can use all sorts of different. The OPL modes are all APL compatible. Yeah. It does not say anything about enabling Gravis ultrasound emulation. I'm like, that could be better, but I'd have to dive into how well this thing supported that Gravis ultrasound back in the day. So if I wanted to set it up to use the different sound settings, I imagine I'd have to tell it that to use. I have to specifically tell it to use the Sound Blaster emulation instead. And just looking at how this works, I'm not seeing anything in the DOSBox config files, because I'm seeing like a bunch of stuff about, well, here's how you can note these things. Here's how you tell it how to do MIDI, and here's how you tell it how to do the Sound Blaster stuff. I'm like, sure. But that's like basically laying a lot of information out that isn't it's saying here's how all this stuff gets used. And I'm like, does that actually mean that these are the things that are getting used? That's something I don't know. So will we be able to hear the voices with the settings as is? I'm not sure, because the things I remember back in the day, being able to hear that dude scream when he gets killed, like going ah like that, and I'm like, my buddy didn't have cool general MIDI setups. What he had was a Sound Blaster 16, and I'm like, well, we listened to the CD audio and we could hear all the sound effects through this other thing, and I'm like, well, if there is a way, there are definitely the drivers that are in here are drivers for I see a ADL.drive, I see general MIDI.drive, I see SND blast.drive, I see STD drive, and I just kind of feel like I'm sure all of this stuff is actually defined properly. So there's a Krondor.cfg, and it appears to be a binary file, so that's not going to help. And I don't think there's anything else here that will actually I see installation files that get generated when it tries to install stuff. Like, here's what you were doing, but I don't see anything about here's how to set it up to use Sound Blaster. So I'm gonna have to just dig through the manual to see how it all works. And frankly, I'm not that interested in combing through it at this moment, because we want to get on with the actual game. We might try everybody else's fix. So I've been to the ArcLight. I've been to the how-to thread on the GOG forum that talks about how to do the how to set it up for to change the audio drivers to use the newer Sierra ones, the patching and all that other kind of stuff. I haven't seen if there's a way. If there was a thread on the GOG forums that actually talk about here's how you can set up Betrayal Krondor to not to use like the Sound Blaster driver, or to ensure that there are voices or some other sort of nonsense like that. I have not seen anything like that, and I don't know where exactly I like to go looking for that at this point. So not gonna. No. All right. Restore game. Saves 1. And I'm sure we did save last time. It's nice to be able to hear things. Right, so... I'm pretty sure we barded. Yeah, we did. Pretty sure we talked to everybody because at this point in the game we're not supposed to be able to talk to people. We went to this house because we did. I clicked on that and we were there. Yeah. And the greeted by a door of a very tired-looking woman. Good day, travelers. How can I be of service to you? What can you tell us of Kenting Rush? We are curious about this place in which you live, Locklear said kindly. Well, sirs, it's a nice enough place. Though lately there have been some shady-looking characters hanging around by the well. She paused for a moment, then pointed to a nearby field. My husband is out harvesting grain. He works over there. Let's see, what else can I tell you? Oh, yes, be very careful of the sorcerer who lives down the road. He has a habit of tricking people out of their money. Asks them 3 questions. The first 2 are very simple, but no one has ever answered the last one correctly. They thank the woman for her time and were on their way. All right. Gorth is about to knock, but his knuckles touched nothing save air as the door swung out of his reach. Accepting the mysterious invitation, they entered the dwelling. There we go. Wow. The dwelling slowly. There were shelves on every wall and books on every shelf. Owen's eyes fell upon a wooden staff in the corner of the room. Ah, you've already found my lightning staff. Do you like it? I can tell. The voice came from a man sitting on a chair in one corner of the room. The table in front of him was stacked with papers, making his huddled form hard to see. I am Shorel. Prove your worthiness to me, and I will give it to you. What kind of game are you playing? Gorth demanded. His eyes little more than slits. The magician replied slowly. Not a game. He turned to stare at Owen. If you can answer these questions, I will give you my staff, but fail this little test and I shall extract a payment in gold. Care to try your luck? Yes, we just put a save dial down. Why not? Excellent, said the sorcerer. Come, sit before me and we shall begin. Owen did as he was instructed. If I can get a lightning staff out of this, rad. Okay. Owen did as he was instructed. Let's try that sentence again. Owen did as he was instructed, much to the chagrin of Gorath, who sat down quietly nearby, one hand placed strategically on the handle of his sword. The first question, Owen, is this. Our great and mighty pug claims to know magic of the greater path and magic of the lesser path. Is this truly possible? I seem to remember from the books that, yes, Pug actually is like one of the only magicians that did that. So I'm going to say yes. Very good, my friend, Shorel muttered. You have but 2 questions remaining. He shifted in his chair, shuffled through some papers on his desk, then continued. Dragon lords once ruled this planet. One of these, Valheru, I remember that, Draken Korin, called himself Lord of the Eagles. Do I tell the truth of this? No. You have answered correctly once again, said the sorcerer. His smile turned icy. Now, only 1 question remains. Answer it correctly and you shall have my staff. Gorath looked at the magician coldly, not liking the evil fire that seemed to be erupting on his face. Suddenly, Owen began to shout, My eyes! What have you done to my eyes, you black demon? I can't see! In an instant, Gorath sprang to his feet, drawing his sword. Wait, I haven't done anything to your eyes, sputtered the startled Shorel. Can't you see me? He shouted, waving his hands in the air wildly. Owen smiled broadly. I'm sorry, my mistake. Yes, I can see you just fine. He winked to the sorcerer. Foolish me, and I thought your last question was going to be hard, perhaps even impossible to answer. Without even waiting for a response, he grabbed the lightning staff and began to head for the door. Come on, he shouted over his shoulder. We better leave now. Oh, God. All right, he did it. He ruined that guy. Okay. It's loud now. We have a standard wooden staff. -7, 3, 15, 0. We have a lightning staff. 30 charges. 0, 7, 20, 10. Does that mean you can hit people with it? Barely. All right. Made of light birch, the staff would be easy to swing should the needs arise. Doubtless it had been put to magical uses as well. And we've talked about this already, so that's fine. The wooden staff, while his woodworking skills wouldn't give his rivals reason to quit their professions, the crafter's staffmanship was exceptional. From the bole of a yew tree, he had fashioned a staff which looked as if it could be used magically as well as a fighting weapon. We need to get rid of that. It's probably not worth much in a store, but here we are. Can we go back in? Yeah, I don't see what purpose would be served by visiting this place again. No, I think we got what we came for. Let's find a store, perhaps. That's where he got punched in the face. This place is abandoned. Oh yeah, what if we should just give it to the riddle guy? I could leave it in a bag in front of his house. That'd be funny. That'd go over real well. Oh, there is indeed. Can I am in behind it, but I didn't see anything, so I guess there's nothing around. Actually, I like that idea of just leaving it in a bag on his step. That would be really funny. All right, let's go. Let's go find a store. Maybe we can just sell it. I don't know if they'll take it. I mean, jewels, keys, rings. Shit. This doesn't seem like the kind of thing they would take, but yeah, didn't think so. Was there another store? I don't think so. Just the Temple of Kahuli. So we've talked to these places. God, I love that there are so many houses to interact with. Oh, hello. My watch buzzed. Well, I guess that means an abandoned inn. Not that one. Good, we've been to all these places. Definitely went to that place because that was the dude who we fleeced out of his. And that was Kenting Rush. Now, whether there are things around here that I haven't seen yet, like how much of this space did we not explore? Because I feel like we kind of came in. We came in from over there. All right. I think we've been here before. That was the fight house. Okay, yeah. You guys can hear the hell out of that, right? Yeah, same guys as before. I was doing some reading and discovered that strength went up. That's good. That fight, this fight that I'm having here, I will have it again and again and again. Those guys never stop being there. But the game doesn't reset their abilities. Instead, they're because you've seen how it works where our stamina goes down first and then our health goes down second. So if you if you kill these guys that waste their stamina, then you walk back to them, only their health is what remains. Like, you basically get to hit them again for health. It's like, okay, so I get to take their health down to 0. Also, if they manage to anytime you beat on them, their armor is taking damage, which means if you constantly beat on them, eventually their armor is worth nothing. So if we wanted to, we could stand there and grind for a while, and the fight gets easier and easier over time. The only difference is being, or the only issue, of course, being that then we have to look after our own stuff. Like, we have to be willing to, make all the, do all the weapons crafting and whatnot on our own to keep our stuff in good condition. Get the new Sierra file. I wonder why, because this is 1.02, but I wonder why it is that, because like back in the day, the CD version 1.02, we had voices on my buddy's 486, and I wonder if I was actually playing off of that, if that would make all the difference or not. But okay, Arclight, if it's what gives you actual voices, then I will. I think I will probably end up making that change. Let's see. Is there anything in these other places that I've missed? Oh. Oh, Navon Dusando. Right, we talked to him before. I'd expected to see you three again for quite some time. How can Navon Dusando be of assistance to you? Actually, no. When I first saw it, it occurred to me ask you something, whatever it was has utterly slipped my mind at the moment. So, yeah, things that we can't ask him about right now anyway. We kind of talked about that. Hello, Sean Mr. Wick. A well. Wait, why haven't we seen that before? Have we just not turned to see this thing? And it was an unusual well. Locklear ran his hands along the wooden crank, tried to turn it, but discovered it was jammed. Reaching down to get a bit of grip, his finger scraped against something hard and smooth. It was a small, round lock. I believe I'm familiar with this kind of lock. In days past, some men required their ladies to wear locked undergarments as an assurance of chastity while they were away. As the stories go, the men gave their keys to these undergarments to none but their closest and most trusted friends. Naturally, the ladies did everything in their power to convince the friends to use the key to remove the uncomfortable things, and many illicit romances were said to have developed. The lock was always replaced before the husband returned home, but after unlocking the device, the key was often left with the friend for the next time the husband went away. In the meantime, the secret lovers would sometimes find an abandoned well, put on one of these locks, and use the key to hide love notes. That's complicated. Hell yeah. Locklear searched for their keys. We don't have a virtue key. We'll have to come back later if we find or acquire one. There's a key shop just up the road. Virtue keys were like 240 gold. Where is this place? It's on that road. It's right over here near those two things. We're not allowed to lockpick this, apparently. We have to have the right key. Or at least we have to have it in hand and then try to lockpick it. All right, you know what? Let's go to the store. And look again at how much that thing costs. I'm sure I can find one. This thing is what, 270 gold. Like, I'm sure I can find one. What could we haggle it down to, I wonder? Let's just see if we can actually get a drop in the price. 270 down to 232. 40 Royal Raw. I know we can print money. But if I can get one later, then why would I want to, like, buy one now, right? Other than it would be very convenient to just be able to open this thing now. Except, I guess, might as well do it. It's ours. If I'm going to do that, I might as well just get a Gildus Thorn while I'm at it, too. 101, sure. That's good, too. Went up to 60. Great. I know, right? The Nagaratep says, how much demand is there for virtue keys? You can just buy them at the store. And it's like, yes. That is, that's a little concerning for what you think you're getting out of this whole venture. There's the well. Let me tell you some more about those locked undergarments. Yeah, try to open it. Lockler checked their keys. Finding a virtue key, he moved to the well, found the lock, and inserted the small key, turning it gently. The lock was a bit rusty, but after a few seconds, he was able to twist the key in the lock, producing a satisfying click. Handle now unlocked. He cranked it a clockwise motion, and then after but a dozen turns, the dry bucket emerged from the well. Searching inside, they found something small and covered with dirt and leaves. It was a knight's piece. Okay. Why do I have this? Someone had paid a great deal to have the chess piece made. The marbled soapstone from which it had been carved was a type of available only from a hellish region within Great Kesh known as the Jalpur Desert, an area also renowned for its Geraji, a Keshian brotherhood of the thief assassins. So let's talk about this a bit. Later in the game, we actually, of course, are coming back to Kenting Rush, and I have been here before later in the game. And I feel like the Knight's Piece is actually more important then. The walkthrough says, hey, you can find the Knight's Piece. I'm like, yes. But is it actually useful to me at this point in the game? I don't actually know. That's the false note for Tanners, and this is the Priests of Kahuli thing that we picked up. Why did we take that spy note in the first place? Was it just because I had to make room? I might have to get rid of that spy note. But regardless, we come from through there. We've had a good look around in that area. I think we just head south. Yeah, we were holding on to the Tanner spy note so I could just always use it to stash stuff with if we needed to hold on to things. But now we have 2 spy notes, and I'm like, do I actually need to have both spy notes? I don't know, but I mean, it probably is something I can just drop if I don't want to have it on me. You know what? Let's go find Navin. I just realized I found this knight's piece in the well. I wonder if he has words to talk about for it. We can't talk to him. Okay. I guess we're not supposed to do anything regarding whatever storyline he might be involved with until later. And nothing behind here. And fire pits, which means someone is setting up an ambush or something. And they buried some stuff. I don't need those. This game was made in 1993. We didn't go over here. We also didn't go over there. Well, let's go east of here. Let's look at this again. Yeah. Never know when you're going to find a bunch of chests. Traps? Almost assuredly. Oh, maybe not. Or did we come here already? What goes with a wagon that doesn't benefit the wagon, but the wagon cannot move without? A horse? We're looking at B, S, N, F. Obviously, it's feast. It is not beast. What goes with a wagon that doesn't benefit the wagon, but the wagon cannot move without? Inertia. Friction. People are saying flies. It is not part of the thing. Finally, one that everyone's having a bit of trouble on. This is good. I like this. So let's see. We know that FR are the only, like BR actually works as well, I guess. So noise. Oh, map got it. Nice. Holy shit. Oof. Oh no. I guess we could go back into town. I guess I could also leave this here if I wanted other people to find stuff that might be valuable later. Could have just left the sovereigns there, I suppose. Oh well. That's really good. As we have talked about, though, this doesn't benefit me in the slightest. We could just get rid of the staff here. You know what? Actually, we could even dump a spy note in there. Just be like, that's now got to stay for the whole game. But, yeah. Actually, we'll take that spy note, and we'll keep this one. That's the Tanner's one. I have no idea if that's going to be of any use to anybody, but anyway. That was that one. Ooh, a nice long one. Never resting, never still, moving silently hill to hill. It does not walk, run, or trot. All is cool where it is not. Wind, breeze, weather, wind, Turbo Cat. Yes, okay. Thraximor's got Turbo Cat. I like that. Shade. So we got T-U, T-R, T-O. Oh, all's cool when where it is not. So, yeah. Arclight's got sunlight. I think that might be the answer. Nope. Sun S, Sun R, Sun N. Sun Suno, Sun. Oh, Sunshine. Boom. Got there. Okay, this is different. We'll take the nice ring. We don't really need the Dragonstone, do we? Oh, I guess we could probably take it. I guess we probably just use it. And I don't need to use it for Gorath because this is still good. And we already have both of those things. We have a fair bit of... Actually, we don't have a lot of the Fatimor's formula, so I guess I could take that now too. But if I leave it here, it means I'll have stuff to pull from later. If I end up in this area, can I take up space enough that we can do the duping trick just right now? How big is this? Okay, great. Got one in there. Got one in there. And excellent. So we got 11 now. Or 12. Give that one over here. Put that back on Gorath. I mean, I could leave all the books in this area if I want to too, but because we're going to move to new guys, we're not going to circle the entire map every chapter. But I'm just mostly doing this right now to get like 3 of our guys like really buffed and to kind of see everything, know where some things are. And but I do know that there is a point where the next chapter starts and we don't start in the area that we ended. We start in a completely different area. So because of that, I wanted to... It's like keeping a few things on hand in other places is maybe not a bad idea. I think I get to keep Owen and Gorath for chapter 2. So we're going to trade out Loki for somebody else. And frankly, both of us having Redweed Brew, I guess that is handy for both of us to have that. The strength thing, I'm not so sure if it really matters. I could probably actually mass these out on their own, but whatever. Let's go with that. That'll be fine. And was this the same one? No, new one. All right. Please, passed from father to son and shared between brothers. Its importance is unquestioned, though it is used more than others. TPMN. Pants. Men's. Oh. Yeah, name. Good. I like nose. That was a good idea. More money. More Dragonstone. The money I'll take. That's probably fine. Clerical oilcloth. No, that's fine. I don't even know if that's stackable or not. Are there more chests? It would seem weird to have a ton of chests all in one area and then have even more just a short walk away. Hello. A place I just stumbled upon. Chicken Clucks agreed their entry. Did we come here? I think we did. Still bears investigation. There's nothing here. Okay. So we found those down here, I believe. Yeah, we found them down over here. Let's get back out to the road. Just have a look over here. That's where this thing was with the arrows in it. That's fine. A new house. After knocking loudly on the front door several times, Locklear was just turning to leave when a crackling voice slipped under the door. Hello, good friend. We would like an opportunity to speak with you. May we come in? What? What do you want? I said we would like to talk with you for a moment and perhaps get some fresh water for our pouches. Huh? You want fish water for your cows? No, I said we'd like some fresh water for our pouches, and we'd like to talk to you. What? Could we come in and speak to you? What do they want, dear? They said they want to come in and sleep with us. They want to see our ducks. We don't have any ducks. Why would... Never mind. Sorry to have bothered you folks. Will that be useful later? It wasn't useful now. Ooh. Stump. Stumps are always open. Hell yeah, more money. Hell yeah, shop. Etc. goods. Oh, this is probably going to be... I could have probably sold my staff here if I gave a shit. Let's see. How are we doing on my hammer? 17. Whetstone? 10. Ooh. I mean, probably worthwhile to get a new hammer at this point. If I gotta dump the other one, it's fine. I could even just sell it right now, I guess. 20. That was barely a savings. He's not budging. This might be one of these cases where he's only going to save a little bit. Yeah. Fine. He took like a royal off. Whatever. Should we give one of these to Gorath? I guess I should repair that while I'm at it anyway. Practice, practice. How's Owen's armor doing anyway? It's a 99. That's okay, because that's as best as he can make it currently. Great. All right. So just a normal ass shop. Probably I can camp out next to, like, you know, like when you have an RV and you can just camp out at Walmart. That is literally a thing apparently. As the story goes, as I'm told by my parents who RV a lot, that Sam Walton was a big fan of people like RVing and all that kind of stuff, and also knew that, hey, when people RV in your parking lot, they'll also come into your store to shop the next day. So if I just let people stay in the parking lot, which is, you know, big, that means that people will come back. Or they'll come in and they'll buy food when they need to buy food. So that's a good idea. And just let them stay there for free. And generally not like, you can't stay there for free for like days upon days, but if you need to park somewhere for like a couple days, a couple nights, because you're passing through town or whatever, you know, and and as Hosk says, it's well lit and safe, you know, so... And as now Maricat says also here too, though, it's like it's extended by individual store managers. So yeah, you apparently have to ask with the managers to be like, hey, is it okay if I'm here, my rig is out there? They don't ask you for like license plates, I don't think, or anything like that, to be like, we just want to know if you're somebody in there or whatever. But yeah, no one has lived in this room. Let's see. Facing north. Oh. Caval Keep. That seems like a busy enough place that it's a clickable town. So we want to go west into Caval Keep. I bet. Yep. It's neat to see just a house on the outside of town like that, but why is that there? Weeds and scrub brush line the road. This road leads into the town of Caval Keep, Locklear said. Do you think we should go in and have a look around? Yes! Tucked away in the Midkemian countryside like a hidden treasure, Caval Keep was a rustic ray of sunshine in the stony enclosure of the Kenting Hills. Enclosed on all sides by a low stone wall, the sheep herding community was unpresumptuous in most respects, its only true bout of vanity being the small fountain which had been constructed in the village square. Where can we go? We can enter somebody's house, or whatever. We can enter the lower part of that same house. We can look in the fountain. I wonder why. We can enter this tinier place. We can shop there. We can inn there. We can inn there. The inns are going to be exactly the same. Let's look in the fountain. Locklear leaned over the well. Below he couldn't see anything, but heard a gentle bumping below as the bucket rode on the crest of the deep water. So, I'm not that hard up for money that I'm going to take all that cash. Let's go into this little house. Oh wait, no, let's go to the shop first. Sign of the Sword. All right, selling some swords. Selling some plate and other things. I could have bought these things here and saved some money. Didn't. Oh well, support your local businesses, I guess. These are all local businesses. Anyway. Yeah. I'm not carrying anything that I need to sell. I don't think. I might give that back to Gorath, though. That's full. That's one. Right. Single charge of that. Okay. Don't need to be here. Inn, maybe. Let's go to the inn. Except for the drunken Reeves, who glanced up at them, the common room of the tavern was quiet. This is the Duck's Head Inn. Only the restless shuffle of feet on the boards over their heads seemed to indicate anyone else was even conscious. Talk. Bard. Finger. Talk. Oh, I see. All right, let's finger. He's cleaning his fingernails with a boot knife. That's, we've talked to this dude before. Finger. He was also cleaning it with his really cool boot knife. So we're done talking to those two guys. This might just actually be an innkeeper. Let's find out. Locklear's stomach grumbled, waiting until another patron, had finished placing his order for hard rolls and a bottle of port. The seigneur beckoned the tavern keeper away from his other duties, hoping for both information and perhaps a bit to eat. Peter the Grey. I'm Peter, sometimes known as Peter the Grey. What can I get for you today? Let's ask about food. So barkeep, what sort of fare do you offer at the Duck's Head, in the Duck's Head? Only the best in all the kingdom. What can Peter interest you in today? Bit of roast chicken with a hunk of cheese, spitted roast with steamed potato eyes, or what ho? The house special, a duck baked in a lemons and stuffed with rose peel crumbs. How does that strike you? Don't suppose any of those come in servings for the road? Oh my goodness, no. We can prepare rations for you at the very reasonable price of cost of 14 gold per pack. Shall I have them made? No. As good as that sounds at the moment, I think I'm going to have to pass. I just realized I have a few other expenses to attend to first. I'll let you off the hook, but just so long as you remember the Duck's Head after a drink and so you remember the Duck's Head after for a drink and something to eat. Lodging. Do you have a spare room where we could lay down? I could use a nap. Need a bit of a rest, do you? I wish there was something to do for you, but the only room open in the Duck's Head is the scullery. Wouldn't mind sharing with someone. Truly, I would like to help you, but the rooms I do have to let are full up, and I don't think my scully would want to share. The room is only just large enough for him to squeeze into, and it's a tight fit as it is. With 3 of you in here, we'd have to stack you like ricks of wood. I'm sorry. So there's nowhere to stay here. And he can give us food if we ask him. If you excuse my abruptness, we have a few other things we need to be about, and not much time to do them in. Perhaps we'll meet again. Look forward to it. Good day to you. And to you as well. Luck to your business. Let's talk to this dude. Ah, gambling, I'm in. Dice. Making a fist, he shook it under Locklear's nose and smiled wickedly as he opened his palm to reveal a pair of dice. The game is dice, my friend, the gambler said, sitting back down. The winner wins half as much as he bets. How much gold will you wager? 50? Ruthia smiled on him, scooping up his shining winnings as graciously as possible. Locklear deposited their 1 sovereigns with as much discretion as possible. Hope you have better luck in the future, Locklear said with a nod. And he's out of funds, which means when we bard, that's going to be it. There's no money to be barded. Yep. Oh well. And we've talked to everybody. So we went to the inn. Right? That's all that is. We went to the shop. We looked in there. Let's go into this little building. The door was ajar. They entered the building and were greeted by a man behind a small counter. Can I help you? They inquired. Perhaps you would like to open an account with us? I suppose that would depend on what you could do for us, Locklear said with a smile. They spoke to the man about his money lending business and the services that he could provide. Thanking him for the information, then promising to return, they left. Nothing there. Enter this place. Locklear roused the occupants. The door cracked open with a small squeak, just enough space to allow a pale-eyed girl in a dust-caked skirt to peer out at them. She studied them with a doubtful look, hesitant to let the strangers in. Yes? What is it? Stepping around the seigneur, Owen peered at the girl with a puzzled expression, then brightened. Miri? It's okay. They may look a little rough, but they're with me. Without a word, the servant girl stepped out of the way, allowing the three of them to follow her into the foyer of the manor. Excusing herself, she scurried off to fetch her master, who was located in the rear apartments. Following what sounded like a distant argument, a dark-haired man swept into the room, a look of annoyance set in his features. Shooting a glance of mild hostility first at Owen and then the mortal, he turned on the seigneur. Count Corvallis, I've given express instructions that I was not to be disturbed today, but Miri seemed to think that your visit might be of some importance. I don't know that it is important, but I would think you would be a bit more receptive to your own kin, uncle. Don't presume to lecture me on manners, Owen. If you were the proper squire your father dubbed you years ago, you would be in Tyburn at your brother Harold's side. Instead, you are allowed to roam wherever you like without a whit of accountability to anyone. My daughter... I want to say Ugin has far more sense of responsibility. Ugine? Gwyn? You have quite a few opinions for someone who hasn't seen me in 3 years. Have you always hated me this much? It's not a question of hatred, Owen, but you're roaming about the world like you were a jongleur or a mercenary is an embarrassment to the family. How do you ever hope to gain the hand of a duke or an earl's daughter? Yeah, duke or an earl's daughter, not a hand of a duke. Or an earl's daughter, either or, you know. If you continue behaving as you are, how will you learn to rule? I already ruled, god damn it, I rule so fucking hard. What? Sit about all day long until quarreling Franklins who owns this bit of land and who owns that? I don't want that. I want to be a magician like Pug of Stardock. And are you going to conjure up your living by doing parlor tricks for King Liam? Going to make smoke pour out of your ears so you have a bit of something to eat in the evenings? I hate to disrupt your argument, Count, but at the moment he's in my service as my squire. I'm Seigneur Locklear of Krondor, advisor to Prince Arutha. From Krondor? My forgiveness, I hadn't noticed your colors, and I've been standing here conducting a family spat. What can I do for you? The Keep. Not that I dislike your new house here, but what happened to the Keep? The townhouse is temporary lodging, nephew. We have no intention of staying in Cavill like common folk. As for the Keep, one night 3 years ago, an inept chambermaid left a lamp unattended by the tapestries which hung on the west wall. You remember them, don't you, Owen? Centuries old, woven by the finest weavers in all the kingdom. In seconds, they went up in flames, and they took the rest of the Keep with it. I remember having heard something about a fire, but I hadn't known the Keep had burned to the ground. It's a miracle that you all survived. Were you able to save anything? We saved ourselves, though, and the only things of true value that were within the castle. It is regrettable that the girl who was responsible for the blaze was killed, but... Eugenie sounds pretty good. Eugene. Sure. Eugene and I both escaped it hale and hearty. I ordered only the stones of the foundation left behind and the tunnel mouth sealed. We progress forward with our lives. Why go to all that trouble? I really would prefer not to speak of this anymore. It brings me great grief, and I would prefer to discuss other matters. Well, I got nothing else to talk about, my dude. You've been most helpful, Count Corvallis, but it's time we return to our business. Please give my regards to your daughter, Eugenie. Ring. Why not that? I shall, Seigneur. Good traveling and keep an eye on my nephew. Keep an eye on my nephew. Owen, heart pounding. Owen. Oh, I shall, believe me. Goodbye. Spells casting. Owen. The manor. Oh, we're actually in a place now. Signs of recent renovations were everywhere in evidence within what had until recently been the Lord Mayor's domicile. The ceiling, once a low and heavy affair, had now been vaulted in imitation of the great palaces of Krondor and Salador. There was no question the Count was spending a fortune. Nope, we're done here. Same thing again. Number of things to do. Please make your business known quickly. Got nothing to talk about. Goodbye. Okay. So what we know is entering the manor doesn't get us anywhere, obviously. That's a thing. Enter that is money lending business. There's a shop. There's the inn. This fountain's got nothing that's that interesting to us either. Yeah, so the inn, I mean, it says it has 2 entrances, but I think it has more to do with the fact that there might only be a maximum size that the box might be. And so when they draw a box around the building, they're like, oh, well, we mark off this space as being this is where the inn is, rather than drawing the largest box you possibly could. They're like, well, we have to mark a box here and mark a box here, and then maybe do the same thing for this, which seems a little weird. It might just be how it's detected. I don't know how the engine works. But that's Cavil Keep. It is largely uninteresting to us at the moment. And I'm not certain at all. Yeah, I'm not certain at all if there's a thing where you're supposed to talk to Count Corvallis and go talk to Navon du Sandow, apparently. I don't even know if that's going to work at this point in the game. If you can even do this in Chapter 1. If anybody else is... I'm looking in the... God, I really don't want to keep the Knight's Piece with me because I'm afraid that I'm going to end up not having it in this area when I need it. Negaratep tells me you can't do that in Part 1. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like Chapter 1, you can't... Yeah, it's like, as Arclight says, it looks like you need it in Chapter 3, and I'm like, maybe I should just try to put it back or put it somewhere else, because this means that I'm going to have this thing sitting here that's going to, until for a whole other chapter, that I don't need to have on me, and I know where to find it. So maybe we just go back to, we go back up the road. Back up to Kenting Rush. Or maybe even back up to those yeah, they grow in corn. This is the old people. Oh. There's a hole. I probably am not going to be able to... God damn it. Really? Okay, something been buried in the dirt. Rations. We're probably going to need some rations soon. Light bowstring and 3 aventurine. I'm not going to pick up extra stuff at this point. Yeah, we're going to go back to those 3 chests with all the gems and the clerical oilcloths and stuff, I think. And it's getting dark. What goes to the wagon? This is the noise one. Put that piece in here. Great. Lots of stuff in here now. And we get back on the road, or maybe we won't. We'll just... Cool. So I think... Yes, why not call the Sierra hotline and see who we get? That would be interesting. Yeah, for people who are the Canardian saying, I think I kind of brick myself by not really building up skills in the early chapters. It's true. Like, if you fly through the game and you don't build up your skills, it does get harder to do stuff. I feel like we're doing okay right now, and we're concentrating on some stuff that is hopefully, that's the key. Concentrating on skills that hopefully going to at least have some people that are very, very strong Oh, fuck off. Why? Why is that there? Oh, yeah? The High Priest of Kahuli, I request that Navon du Sandow be driven mad for his attacks on my person and my family, so my petition ends. Count Jeffrey Corvallis. Wow. Oh, we'll put that back in there. Finding the first one's really good because it's like, oh, so-and-so stole my pants, so I hope he shits them every day. And like, that's cool, that's funny. This is literally, I wish to drive this guy out of his mind because he's been mean to me. It's like, great. Yeah, that was our Uncle Jeff. Has been like, no, I'm mad about X, so steal his money? I don't need it. It could just stay here, and that would be fine. I've been taking all this money, and now I'm just kind of like, you know what? We didn't rob the fountain. I also kind of feel like we don't need to rob this place either. Maybe I just leave it alone. The best part is it's not even... Oh, there's another one. It's not even technically murder, right? It's like, I'm just driving him mad, that's all. It goes past gates, but asks no one's leave. It runs clear around castles without taking a step. Samped. Well, we have our answer. Wamped? Pamped. Eamped. Wimped? Wilt. Wyot. Weut. Wims. Wimmel. Wime. Worm. Wuthm. Wam. Wame. Pame. Eam. Same. Dude, same. Salt. Sims. Wims. Pims. Eams. Maybe it's the E. Maybe there's something about that E that's good here. Prut. Prot. Prawl. Pro. I just saw wall. Wall is really good. Yeah. Hell yeah. Let's fix some stuff. And more Koltari poison. Who's been carrying that? Owen is carrying 17 Koltari poison. Well, he can have 3 more, make an even 20. Don't know what we're going to use any of that for. Get Lockie's weapon craft up. Why not? Going to lose him for a chapter. Might as well get him maxed out. We'll have lots of chances to get Gorath maxed up then as well. So many Koltari are going to get poisoned with this, I guess. I found all this deadly poison on the road. So this is really only good for poisoning rations and then ultimately dying because we're idiots. We only have, speaking of dying because we're idiots, we only have 6 days of rations left. That means I have to get to Prankstone in 6 days, and hopefully I can buy rations from somebody. Or I can go back to Caval Keep real fast and buy rations from the dude there. But I don't think I get an opportunity to barter on it. It's like, maybe we'll just go to Prankstone. This is just straight west. Is that actually a vessel? Is that something I can click on? Oh, yeah. There's a well and a house. It's an inn. It's Not busy, except for a thin strip of floor that led between the door, the counter, and the stairs. Grey cowl of dust coated the inn's fixtures. The patrons of the inn seemed similarly stagnant as they glanced up lazily from their mugs of ale and brandy. Welcome to the Lapping Meadows. Your choices are Talk, Barkeep, Bard, and Inn. Talk. He wants to play Lindland. I mean, if I do that, I'm gonna just not be able to Bard, so we're not gonna do that. We are gonna buy some... We are gonna buy some rations. Seven sovereigns, sure, that's fine. You can have all 14. So that's 14, 14, 1, and we're going to need another 14 for Gorath, I think. No, we already haggled on it. We'll just take them. That's good. That has now happened. Exit the shop. Oh, wait. Barkeep. Now that we've purchased all that lovely food from this dude, it's like, we've given you some money. So hopefully this means that you're going to have some money to pay us when we blow your fucking minds. $122 sovereigns, you say, for one song. This is like, there's nobody in this inn, and yet, apparently, dude's like, it's just so nice to have somebody come in and do something for once. Alright. Inn. 9 sovereigns, how could I afford that? Sure, we'll stay for a night. It's gonna heal us fully for Owen, and that's fine. We're not gonna lose anything. Ah. It did not. Interesting. It's like we've slept 2 hours. Hey, look, the fellow sharing our bed tossed all night kept burying his elbows in our guts, and he stole some money from us. Stole a handful, I guess. Oh well, we'll sleep again one more night. Interesting that when we came in, it was like the end of the day, essentially. You guys couldn't hear the bard music? I could hear it entirely. That's really weird. And I can't do anything about that. Okay, some of you could hear it, so it more probably has to do with overall settings on how I've got the thing up. And yeah, and some people are saying it's quite quiet. I'm like, fair enough, we will have a... All the barding is, like, all the bard music is actually from the CD as well. So if anything that I change in the CD, it's going to be a lot quieter, music-wise. Nice to see that the guys' bardings are going up. If we find a practice loot along the way, I will probably we'll just camp out and let them do that. How about the well? Locklear peered into the blackness of the well. There's something shiny down there. Looks like something metal. His voice echoed against the stone sides of the well. Hand me a sword and some rope. Owen retrieved the object as requested. Then he watched Locklear carefully tie the rope to the end of the sword and lower it into the well. There were several metallic clanks and a few muttered curses. Then Locklear pulled the sword back out. There, dangling from the handle, was a mortal lamprey. Ooh. Who gives a shit? Interesting though, it is it's unrepairable. It is just the way that it is, and I don't think. Now we just drink. I guess we're gonna try to. Also, can I can repair that crossbow. We can do that. There we go. Why do I have all of it? I thought. Oh God. Well, whatever. There. Now he has all of it. We saved a space. That's lovely. And his weapon craft went up as a result, because I forgot to turn it on as well. But hey, you know what? 83 is good. Owen's got 61% armor craft, which is kind of what I wanted to concentrate on him for him anyway. We'll probably, when we get to Prankstone, hopefully there'll be a place to sell a sword. That's a guy. That's also a guy. I'll put a bookmark down because I don't actually know who I'm fighting. They look like trolls. And we messed up. They are trolls. Can I powder bag that dude from here? Let's find out. I can't. He's not close enough. Prick. Gorath has the tuning fork, right? Good. I didn't want to be here all day anyway. These guys don't carry anything. Largely, I don't care about what to do. We could try to shoot some dudes in the back. I also don't... I mean, it's crossbow training. It's crossbow training. They are very strong. Yep. Cool. 59% defense, my god. Oh shit, Gorath knows everything. We haven't actually done the assessment studying for Shimada, or did we? Did we do the assessment studying for Shimada Garrison? I think we used that, yeah. Yeah, those guys are got a lot going on. 125 hit points on that one dude. That's a long fight. Okay, he decided to leave. That's good. Were they protecting something? I do like that in this game. A shed, maybe? A shop. They were protecting it. Okay. Cool. I'm with you here. Moving casually through the magician's shop. Owen suppressed a knowing grin as he glanced sidelong at Gorath. Since entering the Mordor seemed unnaturally fascinated by the array of scrolls, items which would be utterly useless to any save a trained magician. While the owner's fascination spell was unscrupulous, it was clever. My choices are to buy, sell, or not. So this is Dabe's Fanciful Trinkets. All this stuff is actually cheaper than it has been in other places, too. Like that Glory Hand. Dorcas's Treatise. Locklear flipped through the crisp, well-lettered pages with growing interest. Seeing a passage he thought might be of later interest while reading, he dog-eared the edge of the page, but was astonished as the page unbent itself, the crease vanishing without a trace before his very eyes. You're not even gonna buy the book, you're just gonna look at it and then be like, nope. It's a brand new book, don't mistreat me. Well now, okay. Dragon's Breath. Flamecast. Skyfire, I have Flamecast and Skyfire. Hojo's Haven, I have. Gift of Sung, I have. Scent of Sereg, I have. Bane of the Black Slayers, I don't have. Eyes of Iship, I do have. Night Fingers, I don't have. The Unseen, I don't have. Nacre Cicatrix, I don't have. 800 gold for Unfortunate Flux. It ain't me. It ain't me. Oh, there's still more. What the shit? Skin of the Dragon. Stardusk, very cheap. Still, I was like, Invitation, again, starter level, I guess. Thoughts Like Clouds. Final Rest. The Fetters of Rhyme. And we're back to the beginning again. Well, let's see if you can haggle a magician with 90% accuracy. Great. I will have the treatise. 330. 280 and 5. I'll take that. Sounds great. This is, I think, only going to be good for Owen and any other spellcaster in the party. This might be a thing where I end up casting it multiple times just for Owen to see, let him get through like a third of the book or whatever and see if he actually gains way more accuracy casting. I mean, he's at 86, which means the amount of time that will take is ultimately it's like, what will he gain out of that? Because the whatever the possibility is less whatever his current level is, it's like the amount you get like is diminishing returns. This is a thing where it's like, I have the money, I could buy a whole bunch of stuff, but I don't need to buy it all yet. And Wyvern's eggs apparently are reasonably cheap. I can just have one if I need to. If I need to get more spells, I will do that. If I don't think we need to get more spells at the moment. We're really just casting Despair Thy Eyes over and over anyway. Would be more just to be able to brag about having a full on spell book, which will be fun. I mean, to have, but I think I can find more spells out there and put them in my in my spell book. And we'll probably just come back here and fill out anything that I can't find. What's in the hole? A shell and spoiled rations. Great. Rations. These we'll take. Do I need pick locks? I do need pick locks. Great. Oh. Barn. Chicken clucks greeted their entry. Locklear pulled back. Yes. Investigate. Just sovereigns sitting around. Sure. The only spell you need in the game, Despair Thy Eyes. That's actually not true. Their Final Rest is a very important spell. I'm going to need that. Trap. Wordlock. Widows and orphans, parents and kin. You know what? Actually, it's 9:30. We haven't taken a break yet. So I'm going to leave this music on because it'll be nice while we take a break. And I will see you guys in some time. So please sit tight for commercials. I thought I was hovering over the commercial thing when I clicked it. I guess when I clicked, I did not click on commercial because I looked over. I'm like, okay, commercial's right below the one where I select this, what you're looking at right now. So I think what had happened is I had hovered over it and was like, all right, so I'll see you later. And then when I either when I clicked down or something else, I had managed to move the mouse just enough that I basically clicked on what I was already on. And it's why I did not notice when I got up from the chair and left. Yeah. So that's frustrating for me. I don't like that I did that. She's going to probably end up cutting it, though, at the right point. I mean, she's aware that it happened, but though maybe I should make a note and send it. Anyway, we're going to play this for another 40-odd minutes. We're going to play into about 10:15 and then take the next break because I want to keep that... I want to try to get us back onto the every hour track as opposed to waiting a little bit too long. So yeah, clicking the ad break thing. Yeah. For anyone who might not have their sub or whatever, you would see the ads. So yeah, I'm not happy about it. So I did get the note from her. Great. All right. We are working on a word lockbox. Widows and orphans, parents and kin. This is disturbed most by riots and war. STPA. I had people say peace, so let's just try peace to begin with. That's what it is. And of course, it's all this stuff. Owen does not have room for it because he is carrying all sorts of other things. Gorath, let's see here. Give you that. And I'm going to give you the... Oh, I'm just going to have that because I don't give a crap. It's fine. Owen has this. Then uses hammer. Oh, we hadn't actually come off of our haggling yet. And Lockie will go to weaponcraft. And we'll just put Gorath back on scouting for the time being. Great. Is it worth... I guess it's worth repairing these things. Why not? One thing's is another thing. Weaponcraft. We definitely need to get rid of that stuff. You know what? I'll bring them with me for the time being. Why not? F it, he said. Oh, and because we're here... Okay, maybe not a good idea to read the book right now, since I am maxed out. Unsure. We'll consult book. Probably a fine idea to read it the one time because you get the boost no matter what, right? Yeah, if it's selected, you get 7.5%. So yeah, let's read a book. He was at how much? 116? Great, this should improve base. Though it seemed clear to Owen that Dorcas knew Dorcas? Though it seemed clear to Owen that Dorcas knew intimately the material about which he was writing, he unfortunately assumed that his readers also understood many principles which were obscure or unheard of by most magicians. In the author's favor, he did make many useful points on the subject of interrelation. The principle allowed a magician to strike a target object with a spell, and suggested that people first practicing the craft use a concoction called Luton's Concentrate to improve the accuracy with which they directed their spells. Giving us... the Concentrate wore off because it's been an hour. But we're at 94 now, and he was like 86 or whatever beforehand. So this is great. He got there. Give the book to the librarian, I guess. Here you go, Gorath. I'll take that back, just so it's kind of even. We should be using, like, Althaphane's Icer and stuff on our swords and whatnot, or using Naphtha, at least, to just kind of get through this. You have that now. And you take that, Naphtha. And you have that now. See, the fun thing is that when you get a thing later in the game, like when you there's going to be a point where we're going to be able to just poison stuff all the time. When that happens, you basically pick up a sword, you repair it, you poison it, and you sell it, and you make a lot more money on it because, oh, it's a poisoned version of this. Oh, that's very good. And it's like, yes, it's very good. All right. Not worried about anything else in the box at this point. It's the other box. Slot. Brought to the table, cut and served, never eaten. S-C-A-O. O's interesting. L-A-T-U. L-R-I-S. A-S. Is it cards? Was that... That felt good. Oh, shit. It looks the same as the rest, but, you know, The helmet gives it away. The gray tower plate, a great thing to have if we're selling things. Give that to Lockie. He doesn't have room for it anymore. Right, because he's got a weird-ass sword. Put that in there. Is the weaponcraft still on? It is. So he polishes that sword and throws it away. And the oilcloth I'm not too concerned about. That's a really good quality shell. Wow. Again, not interested in some of that stuff. That's both boxes. That means we can get off the we can get off of that route and we can get ourselves back onto this, what we were doing. The 116, yes, camp for the night. Guess we just stayed. Oh, because, right, you read a book, it takes, the book reading didn't take an hour, it took 10 hours. We haven't been on the road in a while. And I feel like we might have missed some stuff on the road. How far south did we get here? Quite a distance. Oh, wait. Actually, let's see. Not that far. I thought we would have made it a lot further than that. I guess there's lots of places to explore along here. Well, look at that fancy enchantment. What are you good for? That's a number 3 plus 15. That's pretty good. And I think Lockie's currently the one who's low on 1 ration, so we'll give that away. I mean, might as well sell it. Who knows? It might not be worth a ton of money. Hey, more places to visit. Drop that. When I went to commercial, I didn't save. And we've been trying to do that, so I will save now. Scarecrow. Locklear grunted. Despite his repeated efforts to pull Scarecrow off the ground, it wouldn't budge. I didn't ask you to pull it out of the ground. I just want you to look at it. Barn. Nothing to worry about the barn. Farmhouse. No one's about. So we probably came... This road probably curls... Yeah, curls by here. Well, let's go into the bush on this side, I guess. Let's go west. It's like a whole other field over here. With very little corn in it. Locklear knocked rapidly. A darkly tanned gentleman met them at the door, a slightly puzzled look on his face. News travels quickly here, he said, allowing them inside. I hadn't expected anyone to have heard about us out here yet. Heard about what? Locklear replied. Our herbs, the woman said, poking her head into the room. Count Corvallis said we could gather them out here because the soil around here was very rich. He decided it was for the best since what happened at the keep. Never since letting all this go to waste. Would you care to see some of our preparations? Yes? Excellent. You won't be disappointed by our fine selection. We grow our stock in a special garden so you can be sure we have the finest quality herbs available. Herbal pack, flame root oil, Killian's root oil. That's right. We have talked about this stuff before. And then just restoratives. Straight up place to buy some medicines and stuff, which is nice. This is going south, which was kind of fine, but I wanted to work our way back north a bit through this area. So that's kind of cool. Just like buried off in the middle of whatever. The enemy watches they approach. Hold there, a hawkish-looking man said, holding up a palm tattooed with a yellow spiral pattern. Strip off your clothing and possessions, and we shall make no further business between us. Lockley scratched his chin. Must we come to blows over this, or must be another option? No, leader grunted. I'm afraid there is not. Ah. Oh, 95% accuracy? Let's see if you can get this. Also, I forgot I had naphtha on my sword. These guys are not going to take long. 77%. Come on, Gorath. Gotta get the game together here. In fact, I can turn some things on while we're in combat. I might as well do that. And he doesn't even give us up his turn. So that's good too. Let's zap you. Locklear hits this guy. Yep. Gorath hits this guy. Thank God he did it. Owen zaps the dude that Locklear's about to hit. First blind him, then kill him. Right, these guys, we haven't been over who they are. These guys are rogues. They're not very strong. Yeah, the goblins are the ones where they look like these dudes, but they're dressed in like green outfits instead. Which is funny because like, it's what I remember the most from this game is that like the trolls just look like barbarians from the north kind of idea, right? They don't look like trolls, and it always kind of made me wonder: is that actually what they're supposed to look like, or was it like we're doing the best we can? Just please let us have this. Right. Go into weapon craft. Nope. Go into armor craft. I think the last time I did this was funny for me. What I did is I gave everything only to Owen to repair, so he would have the weapon and the armor craft stuff, and he just basically sat there fixing stuff for people. I was like, yeah, it's from a flavor perspective, I think that's also kind of funny because it's like you're the squire, so your job is to make sure all this stuff is fixed. That didn't get touched. That's going to need to be repaired. Easy, easy. Can repair that too. Yeah, well, whoa. No problem. It's going to be very satisfying when the day comes when I do something and it's like, oh, this is worth way more. You know what? Maybe what I'll do. Let's put that back on that dude. I'll just give Gorath a thing to hang on to. And that's okay for the time being. Because we're only polishing stuff and putting it back anyway. I bet you that 200 broadsword's actually worth more than this thing. It's like he was walking around, he never even used his sword. It's like brand new. Cool. I'll have that, you'll have that, you'll have that, I'll have this. You can have that back. That's in really good shape, so let's try to get rid of the one that's not. Or we're going to be here forever. I'm going to have 2 whetstones on me for no real value. Was it this guy? No, this is a new guy. All right, herbal packs. You have so many herbal packs. We barely use these. Why am I picking up more of them? Sure. Yeah. Okay, great. Is that faster? I don't know. Yeah, basically, I think what they did is just had people dressed a certain way. It's like, we need to have you dress up in the rogue outfit, or we need to have you dress up as a troll. And they do that. And it's like, great. Now we take that and we just bust that down to 320 by 240 size. You're good to go. Yeah, I have doubles of things here where it's like, maybe I don't need to have doubles of all this stuff. Do we need to have this much of a powder bag? I don't know. I can probably... They stack, so I can probably just refill them when I need to. The hammers don't ever stack. These stack, and I already have a 20-pack. Maybe I just need to lighten my load. The next time we're at a place, it's like, get rid of this, get rid of the extra hammer, get rid of that. It's going to be fine. All right. I bet it has. Oh, some dude got the fancy armor. Well, that's tough shit because I got the fanciest armor. That's fine. That's good. You cannot combine whetstone, so whetstone has a certain amount of use. 3 restoratives. I think we're currently just on our 20s, yeah. All right, repair his armor. There we go. It's like nothing bad happened to you, dude. You look great. Was that everybody? 95.99. 87.99. I think we got everybody. What are we looking at now? 84 weapon craft. I hadn't even selected for Locklear, but it went up anyway. 63 of that. That's good. All right. We didn't do anything for Gorath yet, but that's okay. All these cairns. Let's... What on earth? Whoa, that's a lot. Okay. You know what I want to try here, actually? We're going to do Eyes of Ishap for 1. Ah, okay. So, yeah, mess it up. Fouled it up. Complete waste of time. Cool. Let's turn your casting on, so maybe you'll learn something from this. Try it again. Eyes of Ishap. Cast for 10. Oh, neat. So it just counts the rocks as being a thing. They're not actually like a vessel. There's something south of me, so we'll go have a look at that. But we'll come back from the bookmark then. I think that was the most recent bookmark. Christ, I hope so. So something south of our location. Yeah, down there. That's east. I can't see. I mean, I can kind of see, but not a lot. That's just nothing but east. It was around here. I know it was. It might just be a bush or something, but still. Oh, no, it's this. Sure. I gave you a worse shovel. Please respond. Yeah, I thought maybe the rocks would spell something out, right? It'd be like, oh, look at all the rocks out here. Because there's nothing under them. And I don't think any of them ever show anything off. But it just felt like maybe there's something. Anyway, we're going to continue to dick around in the Caval Keep area, exploring some of this other stuff for a bit longer before we decide to head south to Prague Stone. So it's a good thing we got a whole bunch more rations, because I didn't remember this area being so big, but I think it's partially when I was rolling through here, I was like not really thinking about, fuck. I was like, oh, boxes, maybe I should save before there's a trap. All right, take a step forward. Gorath waits. Owen waits. Push. Why can't... Okay, let's move Gorath over a bit. Ah! I'm not sure you can push diagonally. I've never tried. Good. Okay, that's good news. Wait. Yeah. All right, more wordlock boxes. We don't need wine, we don't need meat. We have sharp teeth, but cannot eat. We don't need wine, we don't need meat. We have sharp teeth, but cannot eat. Comb. Tree. Saws? We, right? There you go. Oh, well. Lots of money. 101 royals will be, yeah, it's like $10. Repairable crossbow. Locky. Leave the less nice of them here. Why not? Bloop. Great. Really only the steel fired resistance, like that will help when there is like that to concern ourselves with, but largely will not matter much else. Is this the same one? Yeah, this is the same one. Okay. All right, I never showed you what happens when you leave one of these. Gorath rubbed his temples. The Mordor words might as well have been unscalable walls. Whatever was within the box would have to remain untouched while he pondered the puzzle. It can move over water but cannot fly. It can move underwater but stay quite dry. Bridge? I don't know why a bridge could go underwater and stay quite dry. T-S-W-A. I'm hearing... I saw a shadow because I guess the... Oh, could. Look at that. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of something to repair, too. How are we doing on venturing? We're not bad. Throw you in there. Oh, right. I keep forgetting to turn their concentrations on. And a couple Dalatail milk. We got 2 there. We got 20 there. Locklear gets some Dalatail milk for the time being. We'll have to put it on next time before we have a fight, God willing. Third box. Has tongue but cannot talk. Runs but cannot walk. Table. Shoe. Yeah, I think you're right. You're not, though. T-C-R-G. Clogs? Nope. I see River in the chat. There's no V. Wario. Wagon? Oh yeah, wagons have a tongue. That was good. Good job. 84, 91, 79. A repairable that, which I will make room for by doing this. Turn on that weapon craft. Yeah, get to 99. That's the stuff. Do I take those lockpicks? Might as well. Sure. We'll leave those alone. Scouting, scouting, scouting. Still want to work my way north on this side until we get back up to near Caval Keep again. That is that inn we stopped at. It is. No barding. He doesn't have any money. We have 13 rations apiece. I don't really need to sleep. I mean, we get back a little bit for Owen. And for Locklear. Sure. Anything else beyond this inn? We go through this pass. And we came through that pass, and I think we'd explored a lot on that side. Right? This is... Okay, this is a road split. That's Kenting... Or, sorry, that's Caval Keep over here. That's great. Nothing can be done, I believe. The only the Canardian, the only part in the game that we get hard gated from is the Northlands, the lands of the Mordor, and I believe also the East, which is Elvandar. Yeah, there's a few areas we can't get to the. I'll show you here. It's just easier to bring up the map. Anything north of Northwarden and this entire road here, and Tirsog and High Castle, anything north of that, if you try to go up there, it'll be like, I don't think it's a good idea. And anything west of Lamut, there is a mine that you can go through on this side to get to Caldara, perhaps. I'm not sure yet. But we can't go through that part of the mine yet. It's like, it's not available to you to do whatever. We can walk through this. This is the Dimwood. You can use that to get back and forth to different areas of the game quite easily. I guess there's no entrances to the Dimwood on the east side of the map. It's basically just north, west, and south. Yeah, I'm not sure if there's actually a way in from like Sloop or anything else to get in there. But yeah, that's largely the game is going to have restrictions on what can be done in certain chapters because you haven't actually done certain things yet. I need to take a quick break again, actually. More than I thought I would need to. And it is a little bit later, so I'm just going to save. We'll leave it on this. This time I am going to go to commercial. I'll be back shortly. Wait. Yes, I'll be back shortly. All right, let us get back to the go down. Now, have we been this way? I think we have because... Yeah. Wait. We haven't... Road's going to take us to Prankstone. I feel like if we go directly east... Which you can't do when you're on a road that doesn't go east. Camp. Did we come here? Who knows? I think we did. That's right. These chests. Yep, we did these chests. That's good. Okay, so we head west. hug this kind of stuff on the sides of the mountains and whatnots. You can start to see water, which is nice. And you can actually see other fields and stuff. Quite happy about that. And here is a road that goes off in this direction. Ah, it's a trap. Oh my goodness. Okay. So it seems like the thing to do, Locklear walks this one forward. Great. Gorath rests. Owen walks this one forward. Locklear rests. Gorath rests. Owen walks this one forward. Locklear rests. Gorath rests. Owen's going to just take point on this one. Owen gets the hell out of here. Great. No. What the hell is this? I've never been here before. You know what? Okay, we'll put a save down. Or we'll put a bookmark down. What is over here? They heard a hiss. Leading away, Owen turned down the short path, his steps becoming more hurried as the faint hiss grew into a pounding torrent of sound. At last they found themselves standing before a sparkling waterfall. Cool. White lather churned from the waterfall's lip in a burst of sunlit spray. Crashed over natural stone tiers into a small pool of pine-smelling water. Broad-leaved and lush, dark ferns grew up the face of the arroyo like a living carpet. Everywhere there seemed to be life moving and crawling. Well, let's look. Locklear strolled into the trees, noting a suspiciously ordered pile of leaves. He suspected that someone may have hidden something underneath. Holy shit. Why not have some things? Ring of the Golden Way. Can affect player statistics. Well, now we can actually just try it on. I think my scouting went up from having that on. Yeah, it did. So we can up our scouting by wearing that. I just got a brand new Ring of Prandir. I don't need to have that one. We have a lot of rope. How much rope do we have? 14 rope. And now we have 20. Good stuff. All right. Enter. Water cascaded over them. Sloshing through the thundering curtain of water, they flung themselves down on a wet stone slab which lay behind the waterfall. Wet strands of hair dangling before their eyes, they looked around their new surroundings. A door was set into the face of the rock, and on either side an empty iron brazier was bolted to the door's frame. To the right side there was a small darkened niche. Locklear stood to take a closer look at the mysterious hole, discovering there a chessboard. Looks like someone was getting ready to play a match, but they were missing a knight's piece. Okay. The key is a knight's piece. So we're coming back here, I have a feeling, then chapter 3 to handle whatever goes on. So we'll yeah, when that happens, I guess we'll go get our knight's piece that we stashed in one of those boxes. It was the noise box, and we'll come back here and do this because if this is involved with all of that stuff, I think this is Cavil Run, is what this is going to be, and this is a whole underground area that you get to explore. Now, yeah, as Arclight says, you can get in there right now. There's a path that's blocked until you get a Chapter 3 item, and largely, I'm not that interested in... Keep adjusting my hair a bit, because people keep pointing it out, and I do want to give you guys the best experience what you're paying for here. I think we'll come back in chapter 3 and do the running around rather than doing it now. I don't know what it actually. We would have to come back here anyway, right? So that's fine. We know where this is now, so that's good. We are locked to the road. And we continue south. Ah. Whoa. Hang on a second. The fact that in all these years I never actually tried to just come in here and adjust this stuff during an ambush. I don't know why I didn't do that. But you know, it's like movements you get to do for free. It's like, well, I'll take it. Swing and hit. Okay. What if instead... Bugger off. I could just stand here and cast stuff, actually. That could be fun. Skin of the Dragon, Invitation, Steel Fire. Causes blade to do extra fire damage. Yeah, it's real weird kind of cast it on someone to do the thing, but... Yeah. Assessment. 45, 58. Yeah, man, they are strong. 527. 60, 53. That guy's gone. He's taken off. Good. Great. The enemy had fled. They had fled. Nice rivers along here. I guess we'll put our scouting back on. At least I feel like we're getting most of the way to Prankstone, which is nice. Ah, a temple and some dinks in front of it. You're stopped by 2 men. You will go no further, one of the men commanded. Before any shall enter the Temple of Banath, they must strip off all metals. Locklear scowled. Under whose authority do you make these demands? We are represented as Prince Aruth in order you to let us pass. The men seemed a bit taken aback by this news, but as they departed, they continued to speak at their levy. Metal is base and offensive to our god. He who enters this temple with metal on his person shall be struck dead. From the other side of the temple, almost out of earshot, Locklear heard, by the will of Banath. I feel like these people are trying to strip us of our armor and weapons. Like, I feel it's a trick. Get an axe. All right, we put down a bookmark. Yeah. We didn't die. The fire was cold. We can teleport Kahuli. 149 sovereigns, 182 sovereigns. Teleport all sorts of places. It's lovely. That's good. Enter. Talk. The hour was sounded. Clapping his hands over his ears, Locklear looked resentfully up at the brass bells as they passed underneath them, mourning the fact that he hadn't a bit of beeswax to block out the clanging noise. If the priest leading them took any notice, he made no sign. The lector at the Temple of Baneth greeted them at the door to his study, a graying man with rounded features who patted each on the back as they passed inside to the study. How may the servants of Baneth be of service? He asked. I'm not certain, Locklear said, taking a seat by window. We have a difficult journey ahead, and I was hoping that perhaps your god might have some insight into our predicament. The priest motioned for him to continue. Quickly, Locklear related most of their tale, with Gorath breaking in occasionally to correct certain inaccuracies. When the tale was at last finished, the lector was squinting at them. I'm not sure of how we can be assistance to you, he said. It was the place of the temple to give aid when possible, but it seems as if many of the things you are having difficulty with you have brought on yourselves, or matters that are beyond the reach of what I may do for you. I am sorry. This, I feel like, is it's kind of a boilerplate thing that gets put in. If it's like, there's nothing they have to say to you, so this happens. And my mouse just wanted to stop responding there. Ah, okay. So, enemies. Somebody said behind the back of the temple you could hear somebody say something. Why is that? I can't camp here. Just walk away from those dudes. Walk away a lot from those dudes. I guess I could have used my Ring of Brandir to actually, or use Skyfire or something to see what the hell's going on, but just this big open area. Like, largely, right, we've been walking through hills and places. We haven't had this experience of just being able to look across water and just seeing kind of nothing for a while. I just keep taking us into the trees. That looks like a body. It is a body. Yeah, that's a pretty good job. He had a shovel. Was there something he was digging up or burying before he just keeled over? Anything near the water? Not seeing things near the water. Let's get back to the road. Ah. Well, there's a gravestones here. So let's begin the process. Lost his life fighting a fire. Well, I don't need to dupe anymore at the moment, I guess. But I don't need those either, so... Sure. We got back some. That's good. Oh, to feel her sweet kiss. Jenny Gray. No longer can he... Leighton Dink. No longer can he hate his name. Just a body. He sung off key. There's a tuning fork in here, isn't there? No. I figured I'd find a virtue key eventually. Ah, so yeah, this makes sense. So we bought a virtue key, right? But if we had come through where I think they expect you to do, which is to come through from here and go north, you would pick this one up, and then when you get to Kenting Rush to the well, where you could use a virtue key, you would find it in there. Yeah, walking through the game backwards, obviously, we're discovering things that we're finding out of order. Beloved by all, Marty Hippler. I mean, he didn't attack me, so it's great. Always our loving son, Kyle Bruning. Lincoln Albervant. He lies here too. No. Boy, that certainly does feel like I'm about to get rumbled. Not at all. Sure, per lance, she loved to dance. Yes, just a body. Okay. Nat Dillars, may the goddess of death be gentle. Oh, that does not seem like a good idea. Okay, good. Damon Bar... That doesn't seem like a good idea. He didn't want to go? No. Absolutely not. Are you kidding me? Oh, there's a box. There's boxes over here. That's good. Word lock boxes! Yeah, we just slept in the graveyard. What? Names give power, magic to control, but what is broken by naming it? Silence? No, we don't need to carry that stuff around. The language of men can be mastered, but what kingdom word is always pronounced wrong? Say it with me, everybody! 3, 2, 1. Wrong! Peasant's keys, some of that, some of this, some of that. Christ. Here, I guess have this miserable thing for the time being. No, you're full now. Oh, that doesn't work then. You can have this. It'll fit. We'll grab that. Weapon craft. Always have the weapon craft. Always have the weapon craft, apparently. Great. Do I really want to try to keep all these to the next? We're really filling up on stuff I don't need. Hopefully we'll be able to dump some of this stuff soon enough. Weapon craft off, scouting on. Yeah, there is no grave robbing skill, weirdly. Only the 2 boxes, it seems. That's fine. Oh. Oh. Frank Stone. We made it. All right. Roots and herbs. I could probably sell some of those things I have. Locklear sniffed, rubbing his irritated nose. He struggled against the urge to sneeze, but the smoky interior of the shop made it hard to maintain his demeanor. More annoying, the smoke obscured his view of the vials and jars, which crammed the store shelves, much of which appeared to contain herbs or incense. So here's some of this stuff. Again, Sarik's Bane seems to be pretty good against a lot of stuff. It's got a few things. But I should really get rid of that flame root oil at some point, too. Can you actually use that on your frost-bladed weapon that came into the... Okay, so this is an armor thing. Will you take this? Will you take my old hammer? Will you take this? Great. That gets one thing off of out of my inventory. Are we ever going to use my Althaphane's Icer? I kind of doubt it. Now, if I sell you this ruby, I can buy it back, which might be handy. If we want to try that thing that you can kind of do. Let me exit. bookmark, go back in, just in case I somehow screw this up. But yeah, the idea being, do this. Sure. He's got it now. We buy it back and haggle for it, because why wouldn't we? Sure. Great. We bought it back. Does he have it? He has it still. Great. That's good. It's kind of like I could just put that ruby in a lot of stores if I wanted to, but yeah, all the keys all the keys appear to live in a space that everyone's kind of just sharing them. I do know there's a part in the game where I believe we lose access to our money for a chapter. So that's kind of a gotta worry about that. Will you take any of this stuff? No. How much for this one flame root oil? It would get it out of my hands, like... Tuning fork? You can't use that. Just remember to be drinking this stuff before we go into combats. What about poison? Oh, you could take that. I wonder if it would be worthwhile to just not have it. Bought one of those just in case. I mean, I guess I can just dump this on somebody's armor at some point anyway, but largely I don't think I really need this on me. We can always buy more. Sure. And you know what? We're never going to poison stuff, at least in this chapter, so might as well just sell it to this dude. Okay, he won't take my powder bag. Fine. What's good is we got some stuff out of the inventory. That's positive. And his haggling ability went up, despite the fact that he didn't bother to actually engage it. But, whatever. Feeling largely uninterested in in having to raise that a lot more. Even though I probably should, everyone should go up. It's a good idea to try to get all of them to go up. Tavern, right. It is currently not quite midday, so let's just walk around a little bit more and talk to people. Abandoned inn. Gorth is about to knock on the door when he heard the shrill voice of a woman calling for help. "No one can help you now!" "Ha ha ha ha!" boomed a raucous male voice. "The goddess of death will..." Before another word could be uttered, Gorath took several steps back and charged at the door, hitting it with his shoulder. The door gave way with a splintering crack. The force of the impact caused him to lose his balance, but he quickly regained it, drawing his sword as he quickly surveyed the room. He found himself eye to eye with a half-dressed man wearing a wig. There was no one else in the room. "What did you do with her?" Gorath demanded. The man sputtered a reply, still trying to catch his breath. What did I do with whom?" "The woman. We heard a woman yelling for help." "What did you do with her?" Gorath repeated, more with bewilderment than anger this time. "I haven't done anything with anyone. I'm an actor. I was just preparing for a play I will be performing tonight at the Flying Sow." Gorath swallowed hard. "A play?" he asked weakly. I thought... "Sorry about the door. I'll give you 25 sovereigns or whatever we have left. That should cover it." The man was still shaking his head when they left. So basically, that just cost us 25 sovereigns. For real, our money changed. Which is kind of great. And that burned an hour. So we're going to go to the inn. Yeah. We can talk, we can barkeep. There's one finger. There's no inn here. It's just this. Unaware until he stepped into the room that he had been chilled, Locklear was glad to have the sullen oaken door of the room closed behind him. Others within seemed likewise contented as they chatted quietly among themselves, taking little notice of the new arrivals. It is the Flying Sow. Let's talk to this person. The man accepted their company. Yeah, we've had this one before. Any place interesting? Freebooters then. Yes, we've had this conversation before. Talk to the barmaid. I'm going to assume is the barmaid. The woman stared at Locklear. Unnerved by the intensity of the woman's gaze, he sought someone else in the tavern to speak to, but when he turned again, he found she was still looking at him, her thin hands gripped tightly around a cloth-wrapped bundle in her lap. "Do I know you, miss?" Locklear asked. "You seem troubled." "This was to be given to you," she said, her voice breaking as she handed over the package. "I was instructed to bring it to you here." Instructed? Locklear unwrapped the bundle and discovered that a single torch was within. Baffled by the strange present, he peered hard at her, but she had pointed her gaze at the floorboards beneath her feet. Lifting her chin delicately, he saw that someone had struck her across the face. "Who did this to you, and why?" "I do not know," she replied, her voice small in the clatter of pans and pots which came from the kitchen. "All I know is that I was to bring this to this tavern and give it over to one who looked as you do." Okay, we think got a torch out of that. I'm not sure why, but we did. Great. 4-charge torch. Again, a thing to have, I'm sure, when we go under Cavalry Run at some point, but yeah. Largely unnecessary. 9, 9, and 9. That's 27. Yeah, you know what? We could probably do with a few more of these. Haggle. You know what? If we're going to haggle, let's actually... If we're going to be here, let's haggle, and then let's bard after that. Let's do it. Or not. Oh. The woman sighed, explaining that talking has worn her out and she only wished now to sit and enjoy her ale. She wished Locklear and Garth well and then called for another round to be brought to her. I bet. Now I'm gonna get something out of you. 7 and 4. Sure. Fine with that. Give me all. Send some to Owen. Send some to Locklear. 13, 14, 14. Done. Oh, wait. Now we bard. We make back all the money we just spent. Talk to this guy, I guess? The man was in a talkative mood, taking drinks from an overly large cup of ale. Between tales about his mercenaries, he wandered eventually into a discourse about how much he hated the followers of the god Kahuli. Again, we were going to find Kahuli soon. Or the temple, anyway. Why do you dislike them so much, Locklear asked. Raising a single eyebrow at that, the man shook his head. Those damn Kahuli priests in the temple up at Kenting Rush aren't natural, I tell you. What pleasures a man's got, they want him to give up, all tied up in those damnable codes of piety. Why did I say piety? What in Tith's name does the mortification of the flesh mean anyway? But some sorry sod's gotta starve himself down to tooth and bone and give up wenching and drinking. Not natural at all, if you ask me. That's it. We've talked to everybody. So Kahuli, the people at Kahuli, at the temple there, practice mortification of the flesh, I guess, starving themselves or maybe whipping themselves or maybe something else. Done. Knocked on that door. We knocked on this door, I'm pretty sure. Yep. Moving forward. No one has lived in that room. Balding man with an intense gaze answered Locklear's knock. Are you looking to stay in Prankstone for a while? He wondered. Do I have a house for you? Only 30 sovereigns a month. Sorry, we were just passing through. What can you tell us of the people who live in your houses? Locklear asked. Got a guy who claims he's an actor living in one. My other place is about to become unoccupied. That no-good dragon lover has cheated me out of my money for the last time. Good day. The subject obviously angered him because he put an end to the conversation by slamming the door. Dragon lover, you say? Oh. The slab made Owen uncomfortable. Still, he stepped closer to the strange rock to examine it more closely. This is a very unusual stone. It seems to be emitting a very strange energy, but I can't make out its nature. Should we touch it? No. No, don't profess to have your magical insights, but I have a bad feeling about this place. We should leave while we are still able. I think this is the Pranks Stone. I don't remember what it does. Let's find out. Owen stepped forward and touched the strange stone. Though there was not an actual explosion, they all heard a loud bang as his fingers touched the rocky surface. The sound startled them all, but had the greatest effect on Owen, who was momentarily convinced it was the sound of the death goddess knocking on his door. It took them several minutes to realize the humor of the situation, but soon all were laughing as they picked up their packs and prepared to leave. The stone has apparently been harmless. Still, it worried Gorath and made him wonder if they had lost anything besides their wits. I don't know. We didn't go up anything by doing that. Inventory seems to be intact. Did we lose some money? I would have no way of knowing because I'm not paying attention to the money. All of our stuff seems to be here. Nothing stackable got taken down or put up at all. The ruby seems the same way it is. All of our books are, yeah, nuts. Everything seems fine. We probably lost some money. Did we lose all our keys? I clicked on our keys and I see this key is the only one in here. Maybe we lost all of our we had peasants' keys and like nobles' pass keys and like all this other stuff. I guess we lost all the keys. Yeah, Arclight. Give me the answer. Did we actually just lose all our keys? So we still have all of our pick locks, so that's fine. And I mean, we did discover that along the way through the boxes, there would be like another peasant's key, and there'd be like, I think we saw like another key along the way. And it's like, oh, there was stuff there. So, oh, when you touch it, you lose items. They're put in a locked chest you can get to. Okay. Probably some sort of chest that's like accessible through either somebody else's house or by talking to somebody, I'm sure. Though if it is a box, it's probably like out here, easy for me to discover. Be not over there. Okay, well let's camp, go back to town. The chest is by the road between Abuk and Silden. It's behind some mountains west of the road. Hang on. Silden, you said. That is a long goddamn distance. Wow. Neat box. Well, I don't think I care too much about restoring from the bookmark, though. I mean, is it worth it? Like, we'll go looking for it. It'll be fun. A smiling man entered the door. Come in, he said with a large grin. Have I got something to show you? Curious, Locklear followed the man into the house. He led them to a table upon which there was a bulky object of some kind covered with a cloth. With great flourish, the man pulled away the cloth, revealing a strange metal machine with a funnel on top and a wooden crank on one side. What is it? Asked Gorath. It's a gem converter. Currently we'll only convert rubies into emeralds, but I'm working on a formula to convert rubies into diamonds. Say, perhaps you could help me test it. Would you like to give it a try? So we have our ruby here, and I could convert this maybe into a diamond. Let's see. Locklear handed the man a ruby. This will do nicely, said the man, holding the ruby up to examine it. He dropped it into the funnel-shaped object at the top of the machine and began to crank. After several revolutions turns, the machine made a strange clanking sound and a small diamond dropped onto the table. The man picked it up. Wonderful, it works. Say, as long as you're here, would you like me to convert any more of your rubies? No. What a shame, began the man, that you can't take advantage of my wonderful offer. I mean, he continued quickly. He led them back to the door and waved goodbye as they left. So, we had the one ruby. I think is all we had. It was a 1% ruby, which means it was damn near worthless. And he made a 2% diamond out of it. Now, as we know, diamonds are worth more than rubies, but if we came here with a, 69% diamond like we'd had at one point, and he turned it into a 2% ruby, we'd be screwed. And yeah, that's the idea, as Arclight puts it. Sell crap rubies to a nearby shop so it's always available. Buy a bunch, schlep them here, have infinite diamonds. Exactly. But really cheap ass diamonds, not really worth the money. So the thing to do is later in the game when prices go nuts in Romney, you come here, you convert a whole bunch of stuff to diamonds, basically clean out your inventory if you want to and convert it to nothing but diamonds. Walk those shitty 2% diamonds down to Romney from here, which is a bit of a trek, but not too bad. And then sell them all in Romney for a ton of money. That's the trick. Again, one of those things that's in game works as long as you know that you have this option available to you. No one has lived in that room for some time. And the dragon guy that he said he was renting out to, I have no idea where that dude is. So we go back to the store. If I wanted to sell that diamond, which I might because I don't really need to have it on me, 18 sovereigns. That ruby he gave us was like a few sovereigns. And so this is a useless thing to do. It ruins your rubies. But there is a point in the game by which it actually is kind of handy to be able to do this if you really want to make a lot of money, because you're going to be visiting Romney at the point where the prices go out of control. It's kind of like, if you're thinking, this is a cool way to make a lot of cash real fast. And yeah, 60 gold is how much they're worth there. 7 gold to get one of those back. So pay 7 gold, get 13 back. Not bad, but 7 gold, get some 2% diamonds, go to Romney, probably make way more on that. I believe we're good. We could leave now. Also, a good way to, if you need to get diamonds for later in the game for any reason, I don't know if we do. I don't think it's like D&D where it's like, if you have a diamond on, you can use a resurrection spell or whatever the hell. Cross the bridge. Don't get to do many bridges in this game. It's fun. Oh. Trap. Okay. Locklear pushes. Gorath does a wait. Owen waits. Locklear pushes that forward. Again, wait. Locklear pushes the transparent crystal forward. Gorath waits. Owen waits. Locklear goes this way. Fuck. I thought I was on Locklear there. I guess I wasn't. Gorath waits. Owen waits. Time doesn't pass while you're in the infinite trap. Owen is basically back up to health, so I'll just get out of here. Ain't great, I mean, but did get the health back, so that's something. Are we all back on scouting again? Scouting. Yeah, that looked good. We got turned around. Just trying to go anywhere but back into that frickin' trap. Can't go over there. Nothing to look at, really. Sure. It was getting dark. It is 10:50. No, we still got time before we have to take a break. Walked through there. I didn't see any boxes. Don't really see any boxes over here. All right. It's funny because like the Eyes of Ishap spell, which can let you sense vessels, places you can click on or whatever. It's like that's super handy, but also there's no good way to manage it because it means like you don't mark them on your map. You just have to remember where they are. And so then like if I was using the maps right now from that other people have made of the game to be like, here's where everything is. It's like, okay, then I don't have to ever use this stuff if I don't want to. But anyway, we should move on. I just kind of feel like that's like I want to look for stuff because that's fun to discover things, then just be told where things are. But also it'd be nice to just be able to hit Eyes of Ishap and be like, I'll pay the price for Eyes of Ishap as long as the game kind of gives me a sense of, you know, whether it be like the Sheikah Slate in Breath of the Wild. I come back to Breath of the Wild a lot, but it's like Sheikah Slate in Breath of the Wild is great to be like, register a thing. If you start getting close to something, the slate will start pinging a bit and let you know that you're close. It's like, I gotta look for a thing now, right? I don't care what I'm doing, I gotta look for a thing. The road led south. Halting for a moment to ponder his options, Locklear stared off into the distance of the kingdom's populated heartland. We'll pass through Malk's Cross or Sethanon if we head this way. Thinks that's the best idea? Yeah, that's it. We're out of the eastern area. We're out of Zone 4, technically. We're leading into Zone 3. The landscape flattened. Slowly the hills and trees began to thin, far more sparse in the grassy midlands of the kingdom than in the region from which they just came. Don't be fooled by that. There are definitely going to be a lot of hills blocking what it is we can see. The way ahead was blocked. From among the men who were guarding the bridge, a man stepped forward to confront them. Mitchell Waylander, all right. I wouldn't advise venturing any closer to Romney. She's a city besieged. Locklear, what's happened here? Guild war, uprising, chaos, the whole of Romney's lost its senses. I'm surprised you haven't heard, but then again, a child scraping his knee in Romney seems more important here than does a coronation in Rillanon. It all started when the Guild of the River Puller was pushed out of Sildon by a splinter guild, the Guild of the Romney. When the River Pullers tried to recoup their losses by raising fees in Romney's, the Glazers and Dyers guilds refused to take the brunt, and we contracted the Splinter Guild to bring in goods. Unfortunately, the River Pullers asserted that they had royal grant of exclusivity to the river and burned 2 Romney Guild rafts. 3 members of the Glazers Guild were killed in the fire, as was the chief reeve of the Dyers Guild. We've been fighting for access to Romney ever since. He seems to have the upper hand at the moment. Neither side. It's a stalemate with the labor guilds occupying the north bank of the Ursine Ford and the crafters on the south. I was trapped on this side before the River Pullers ordered the blockade. Oh, by the way, I'm Mitchell Waylander, local chief reeve of the Glazers Guild. Nice to meet you. What do you think it's going to take to bring this fight to an end? We sat down to negotiate with them, but the River Pullers leader is a hard old crat, and frankly, I don't think he wants to end it. They've laid claim to all the goods that weren't shipped as duty for breach of agreement. The local solicitor informed him that it went outside of kingdom custom, but the River Pullers asserted it was also part of their royal charter. We still don't even know if such a document exists. Is there any other way into Romney? There was a time when you could have hired someone to boat you in, but there's not a soul in the river who'd be fool enough to try to run the river blockade. River's nearly deserted because of it. Only people who are still around are the ones who can talk a blue streak. Really? And why is that? Unless you can haggle with the best of them, you'll not get even a fair price on any of the goods here on the river. Might as well try to buy King Liam's crown as a packet of rations around here. Perhaps you could give us a few finer points of haggling since you're in the trade. Oh, yeah? Perhaps I could, but I really have to get some of my associates in Sloop. I can't stand to lose quite a bit of money the longer I wait. I'd be prepared to remunerate you for lost time if you could help. Really? Oh, well, I suppose I might be persuaded to give you a hand for 50 sovereigns. That's my proposal. What do you say? I don't even have haggling turned on. We're going to say no. Pass. Always interested in a bargain, but not the cost you're asking. Suit yourself, but beware. Most of the guilds in this region take this no less lightly than if the dog soldiers of Greater Kesh were pulling up the Romney. This is war to most of us. They aren't far from wrong. Romney is a kingdom village, and as such it is a free town. Any faction that has determined the city to be closed against this will deserves to be warred with, kingdom writ or no. I'm sure your duke has something to say about it. He's none too pleased, that's for certain. But there's not much he can do about the matter until he can get to the head of the Ironmongers Guild to come to negotiation. Or get the head of the Ironmongers Guild to come to negotiations. That's neither here nor there. I've got a bridge to watch and later business to attend to in Slough. I bid you gentlemen farewell. Good day to you. We shall speak again. I mean, the hope is... Nice to see we went up some levels by doing that trap. The hope is that if I turn haggling on for everybody, take a few steps back. No, we're not going to Cavalkeep. I take a few steps forward again. Is this the... That's Romney. Come on, Mitchell. I can go into Romney, but what I'm wondering is, how do I get Mitchell to trigger again? Do I have to walk away quite a distance? And then come back at it. There we go. Your pardon me if I seem a little startled, but I have expected you to be dead men. I'm glad to see the river pullers haven't sent you to your graves. We held our own. Did you attend to your affairs in sloop? Blazers there said they would send a few men for support, but they weren't sure how many or how soon. I'll have to take their word for it and hope the help doesn't become necessary. Now, how about that lesson on haggling? I could still use the funding. Interested? Yes. Neat thing. According to the notes, this is the only time he will do this for us, is in this chapter. I'd say you're mad as old King Roderick, but I can't blame you for wanting to make an honest sovereign. You have your deal. Why is it the chest music? First thing, don't cross your arms when you talk. I know as a noble you've been taught to look as imposing as possible, but that won't wash when you're trying to buy a bolt of cloth. Look vulnerable, or at the very least unimposing. Once you're human, it's a lot easier to believe that you're in need of a break. Sounds reasonable. What else? Look a man in the eye when he's talking to you. Makes him believe that you share interests with him and will usually lull him into a charitable mood. He's much more malleable when he believes he's the authority on the matter. But what if he isn't? Lesson 3, never interrupt the man whom you're trying to buy from. Lesson 4, right and wrong lose their meaning in a bargaining atmosphere. It doesn't really matter if the sword that the shopkeeper presents to you isn't the finest blade in the land. You're either interested in the blade at the price he quotes, or you aren't. Insulting the integrity of his good will only earn you his scorn. Disinterest will more often lead you to better bargains. A few things to think about there, and I dare say we may find uses for your wisdom elsewhere. My pleasure. I'd love to stay and chat some more, but I have finances to attend to. Farewell. Thank you, Mitchell. Farewell. And haggling's gone up. I don't even know how much. He was at like 91? 98! Okay, so yeah, that was a good idea to mark it down. Weird that our barding has dropped to 98. I don't know why. Does Prank Stone actually also lower your ratings on shit? 98%, 74%, 93%. That's a good bump. That's two of us trading at above 90% now. That's really good. It's fun whenever they drop the names of places that are also featured as names of titles of books, right? So I'm seeing all you people mentioning, Sethanon, better bring a light. Yes, there's a darkness there, I hear. Scouting back on. Scouting back on. Scouting back on. I will put a proper save at this. Actually, how close are we to? We're almost close to 3 hours. Let's go into Romney first. Every time I go into Romney, though, I'm always like, I should save before I go into Romney. Just because of what happens in Chapter 3. I'm like, I should just save before I do things, but save. Yeah, let's go in for supplies. Known as the City of Guilds, Romney's cobblestone streets were knotted, a labyrinth of closes and winds, often leading nowhere or into blind alleys populated by disreputable-looking drinking establishments. Only the dark main street, called the Murky Mile, seemed at all inviting to visitors to the strange town. I hate this music, but it's so great. I don't like listening to it at all, but I love that they made it. It's like, this is perfect. There's a tavern, there's a shop, there's an enter, there's a well, I'm guessing, and there's an exit. Let's look in the well. The water was fresh! Slurping down several handfuls drawn from the well, Locklear splashed his face and arms as well for good measure. When at last he felt fully refreshed, he moved away from the bucket so that Owen could do the same. That's it. Shop. Port exchange. Oh, a place for me to sell some stuff. Repair, buy, sell, exit. Great. The lay of the goods store was comfortably familiar, arranged in such a common-sense fashion that it took only a few moments for Locklear to locate the items which interested him. Keshian Tapir, some Ulico armor. Again, you get to Romney and you start seeing these things show up. You're like, oh, wow, actually some pretty good stuff here. Let's... sell. Please say you're going to take... I didn't say to do that. Powder bag? Powder bag. Nice. Nice. Torch? No. Item. You don't want items. You don't even have any repair stuff, which is interesting, but whatever. I don't need you to repair my things, so I'm not too worried about that. So we'll just leave that as such. Yeah, I probably don't need to go to the repair shop. What's it going to cost? I don't see the point in pushing those back up. Maybe this is worth it, but like... Yes, it's much louder. I will turn that down a hair. Exit. We need rest. Well, have I got a tavern for you? The Black Sheep Tavern within the accommodations were humble. Several splintering tables have been jammed in the common room and arranged to accommodate perhaps 25 men. I think we read something that's like this before. Yeah. All right. What can you do here? Talk, finger, barmaid. That dude is looking right at us. Talking bard. Let's barmaid. We have lots of rations. I think we're okay. I got to get that 100% barding back. I don't know what the hell happened. Come on, mouse. There we go. I hope it's not dying and I need to put new batteries in it. Bard. $95 sovereigns. So 98's still really good. Starts the music again. Failed love affair with a married woman. We've had this talk before. Let's talk to this guy. The gambler. Yes. Gambler won't gamble. There's apparently somewhere in this place, in the world, I can't remember where it is, but there's a place where if you go to it, the gambler does not depend on the funds in the tavern. So you can gamble, and when you just can kind of keep coming back and gambling. So win. But if you lose, now there's money in the barding fund. So you go bard and get all that money back from barding, then go back and gamble again. And if you lose, go back and bard again because now there's money in the gambling fund and get even more money back. So if you win, you're winning, and that's great. And if you lose, well, you've lost. But apparently this is a churn you can set up. And if you are really high bards, you can stand to make some money. So that's also a good way to do that too. Let's talk to this fellow. Locklear motioned for the figure across the room. To the figure. The boy walked over to join them. He stood before them, eyes downcast. Are you the collectors? This is Jason. The collectors? What do you know about them? Only what Master Carolus says. Before he went away, he says to me that one day the collectors would come and take me away to a pretty place where every boy would be like me and I wouldn't have to worry, and that I shouldn't be upset he had to go because he was going to a real nice place where people were like him. Tried to not be scared, but it was real hard. And after the master left, I cried real hard for days until my head hurt. Then one day the black sheep man found me and said I could scrub his pots until the collectors take me. And how much does your current master pay you? Pay me? Yes, your wages. What does the black sheep man give you for helping clean up around here, for sweeping the floor and scrubbing pots? Oh, well, he's very good to me, Lord. He lets me sleep in the coop with... The coop? The coo. With the chickens, so I don't catch the shakes, and I get the bread that hasn't greened yet. That's very kind of him. Is he here? No, he left a week ago on business to Silden. He said he would be back very soon, and I could sleep here in the shop. I forgot to lock the door. What does that mean? Well, we'll leave you then. I want you to lock up the shop behind us, and I want you to stay here until your master comes back. When he does, I want you to tell him that the collectors are coming for him very soon, and that Signor Locklear of Prince Arutha's court says so. Ah, neat. That conversation also only happens in this chapter. God, this is... Despite the fact it's like, don't do this, it's like, it actually is kind of cool that we get to do this. So I'm going to exit. We shopped. We haven't entered yet, so let us enter. The meeting hall was full. Assembled in the room were a dozen grizzled-looking men, all seated around a long table at the head of which sat a young man sporting a goatee. As they entered, a servant quickly pointed them to a bench off to the side, indicating that a meeting of some import was underway. I don't care what Mitchell Waylander may or may not be doing, the bearded man said sternly. I am the Duke of Romney, and you will do as I request, else I will call up others from Bastira. Do you really wish to call King Liam's attention to this matter? Unsettled by the vigor with which the young Duke made his point, the various guild leaders shifted in their seats. One, a tremendously overweight man, whose clothes tested their seams, leaned forward, careful not to spark too much of a response. It is entirely possible that the leader of the River Pullers was assassinated by the leader of one of the other guilds here. It's even possible he sits in this room with us. If you have someone in mind, Botho, why don't you simply come out with a name? Another man replied, leaning across the table to grab the obese guildmaster's shirt. Talk, you overweight cat's innard! Enough! Slamming down the tankard of ale which sat at his right hand. I have it. I have a tankard right here. There we go. The Duke turned his piercing blue eyes on all who assembled. I want peace on the Romney, and I will wish it today. The fact that the Ironmongers Guild will not come to a negotiations table is irrelevant. If I hear another word of a possible uprising in Romney, I swear to you I will make each and every one of you pay for it. Having heard enough of the heated words in the chamber, Locklear turned and whispered to his companions. If Arutha was here, he'd have this lot at the gibbet for even thinking of open rebellion. The fact of the matter is that Prince Arutha is not here, the Duke replied tersely, evidently having overheard the whispering. And I'll deal so cavalierly with those who are as much my family as my serfs. Snapping his fingers, he motioned to a pair of guards who stood mute behind them. Sergeant Yearly, see to it that these gentlemen are let out, seeing as how they yearn to get to a part of the world where Prince Arutha rules. Oh yeah? Is that how you're going to be, my dude? Do we go back in? Can we? No, guards halted them. Remembering the Largent at arms. Remembering the Largent at arms, Locklear backed away quickly. I don't believe the Duke cares for your company, Yearly said. Now turn around and move before Captain Anselm and I have to turn you into river chaff. We're never going to hear about Captain Anselm again, are we? But at least we got his name. Don't have to worry about water. I think we're good to leave, because I think tavern is just tavern. There was no place to sleep. If we talk to, if we talk to Jason again, irritation flickered in the man's eyes. If you please, I would like you to be alone for a bit, the man begged off. I have a few things to think about. It's like, yeah, he would not have acted like that towards me. That sucks. Our barding ability increased. What a goddamn delight. Mine didn't. Maybe I'm permanently locked at 98 now. Who knows? Maybe I wasn't supposed to get that high at that point. Who knows? All right, we're going to take a break. That was Romney in Chapter 1, at least. Please enjoy the upcoming commercials. Take me a second to get there, but we'll see you in a minute. Or 3, rather. Mouse. Mouse, mouse, mouse. Oh, hey. Brave new raid. Hello, raiders. Mouse. Chew mouse. Look at all these people. 178 people showing up to for briefly to understand what the hell's going on. and then leaving immediately, almost assuredly. Welcome back to the game. This is more Play It Forward here on Loading Ready Run. I'm Beej. We're playing Betrayal at Krondor from 1993. Hi, brave new faves. Gee, I wonder who that is. We are, if you want to know what area of the world we're currently in, we're near a place called Romney. Look, this is made in 1993. And the book's written well before that. So we're going to travel down from Romney to Sloop. Maybe we'll even make it to Silden, which will be fun. In the ensuing hour, it's basically just do stuff. The end goal, I want to be clear, the end goal is Krondor. This for chapter 1. That's what we want to do. That's what's going on here. So we're not going to do that today. We could. I could just put the afterburners on and make it, but I'm not interested. The idea is we started over here, where you can see the mouse over here, and we went all the way down here, and we went over to Hawks Hollow, and then up a bit, and we just came back down here, and just went over to here again, and we went all the way down to Sarth, and then we got to Sarth, and we went a little bit further, and we're like, okay, cool, let's turn around and go back, and we'll come up over here, we'll go over here, we'll go kind of near Hawks Hollow again, and we'll go back up to L'Oreal, and we'll go to Tirsog again. We also went over to Tirsog earlier as well, because we had to do some earlier stuff, and then the grand travel all the way along here, up to North Warden. That's you can't go into the Northlands yet because all this is not places you're allowed to be. And you can't also go over to Caldara. You have to go under the mountains in order to do that. There's areas in the game that are locked off in Chapter 1. And that's where we're in Chapter 1. There's 9 chapters, I believe, in this game totally. And we have made our way, I think last time we made our way down to Kenting Rush. And so when I started this game today, we started in Kenting Rush. We have made it through Cavil Keep and Prankstone to Romney. We're going to make our way to Sloop and maybe even make our way to Silden. We'll see what happens. We're basically spending a lot of time just dicking about. It's great. We need rest. We haven't rested in a while. Let's just sleep for an entire day. Why not? We just laid on the riverbanks next to Romney, and we're just going to sleep here because I don't know where the nearest inn is. Now, we can also, if those of you who are new seeing this, you can lock yourself to the road, so it will turn you automatically. But the trouble then is that if there's stuff on the side of the roads, you don't get to see it because you might be turning too fast and not noticing that, for example. There's a house over here with something behind it. Put a bookmark save down, just in case. And I'll look in the box. And they have these cool word lock boxes. They go up white, but come down yellow and white. They go up white, but come down yellow and white. TITL. Let's see. So we got ETRS. Oh, ceiling egg. You know what? It's probably eggs. It sure is. Egg, egg, egg. Whoa! Okay, what's this? The Fetters of Rhyme. We were looking at buying the Fetters of Rhyme, but I don't need to do that. Just give that to Owen. A rapier is considered the weapon of experts and fools, you see. Good, and with a number 3 on it, that's actually pretty good. We'll grab those 100 sovereigns, why not? And we'll grab that too, and probably just turn around and go back. Let's see here. And there's a house here. There's something very strange about this house. Locklear couldn't put his finger on it, but the house had a dreamlike feel, or was it a nightmare? He barely remembered knocking on the door, but he was sure no one had answered. Did anything happen to us? I don't think so. This is still the Fetters of Rhyme, right? Yeah. Don't think anything happened to us. Let's learn it. So Owen reads this for about an hour. That's what happens when you read a scroll, as it disappears. And the Fetters of Rhyme looks like it is probably an offensive spell, because it's in the same block as Flamecast is. Yeah, don't know what happened there. We're not going to use that, by the way, because our greatsword is just very powerful. But we are probably going to sell that. Rapier to somebody. I have a feeling what happens is you come over here, and you knock on the door, you don't know there's a box in the back, and then you might turn around and leave because you're like, well, what the hell just happened? And so you turn around and leave, not knowing there's a box behind there. But oh, we missed this place. This is probably an inn. Usually these two-story ones tend to be. It's an inn. We could have camped here if we wanted to. The Nameless Hideaway. Ah, yes, we've had this before with the thin strip of floor between the door counter and stairs. There's inn, a finger, the barmaid, and bard. And as is our talk, we'll talk this. Failed love affair with a married woman. We've saw this before. Sorry if you are new to watching this for the evening. That's just... We've gone over a lot of this stuff before. Another dude had a failed love... They probably had the same love affair with the same woman, I guess. We probably need a bucket of rations. Which means we're going to turn on haggling because... Hang on a second. Now... Barding wasn't at 100 a little while ago, and neither was haggling. Did we get bonuses from that house? What bonuses did we... Like, haggling getting up to 100, I can kind of understand, but it's like... Barding was at 100 before, but then it dropped to 98 briefly. But then haggling never was at 100, even after we talked to Mitchell. Oh, whatever. Blessed Exchequer. Yes, this is Raymond E. Feist's Midkemia. It's the whole part of the Rift War saga. Let's drag it onto Gorath instead. That'll be fun. 7 sovereigns, 6 royals. Yes. Share with party. That never works. Shit, it almost worked. Okay, so, yeah, what happened at the house was I walked up to it, I knocked on the door, there's like a weird kind of like dreamlike thing. It's like, there's like, I'm having a dream, or is it a nightmare? I don't know. I barely remember like knocking on the door. I'm not even sure if I did. I don't even think someone came and answered the door, but I can't remember, and now we're on our way. And it's just like, what happened there? I don't know, but I'm like, did any of, like, it didn't tell us that things had gone up for us, so I'm just like, I don't know, did we get a bonus anywhere or not? I don't really know. Olveron, yes, it is the story of Pug, you're absolutely right. Let us bard. Maybe we hit 100% on barding because after we barded in the Black Sheep in Romney, that might have been enough to bump us up a little bit more, perhaps. Anyway, all that's left is to inn, so let's go in. 3 sovereigns for the night. Oh, Jesus. Oh, this is a cheap place. Oh, no. For exact amounts of gold, too. That's interesting. Usually, the more expensive a place is, the safer it is. But, Alright, after boot wait, the Nightmaster entered whistling, a cheerful look in his face. So, gents, did you have a good night? Excellent. Locklear and Tome and Foss sincerity. I don't know when I've had a better sleep. That was, of course, when I could get to sleep. What were you doing down here? Skinning cats? Ah, yes. The innkeeper had company. It's been a while. Can't hold that against a fellow, now can you? So, can I send you for the night? Yes, we're going to get Owen up to full thing. For 3 sovereigns, it's worth taking a couple days to do that. Thraxamore, I feel like you're probably right. I feel like it was memory-altering magic of some sort. So barding and haggling 100%, that's really cool to see finally. We're seeing these ones go up as well. All that feels really good. Part of me wants to go back to Romney and sell this rapier to get it out of my inventory. Pretty sure we can do that. I mean, part of me also could just put that rapier back in a box and wait until chapter 3. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to do that. Eggs. Oh. Good sounds. Yeah. You know what? I don't need to carry this around. I don't need to carry it around. That's fine. We'll take the books with us because we want to get down to Krondor, bury them nearby, and then when we change people out, then we can send the new dude who's going to be James. He's going to come up here and read some books, I have a feeling. Ah, yeah, I click again. There was something very strange about the house. The house of dreamlike feeler was a nightmare. Billy remembered knocking to ensure that no one had answered. And I don't think anything changes, and I don't know if we end up missing stuff. I feel like it would be it could be a case of like you're not missing anything unless you were carrying something in your inventory, not like your normal weapons or whatever. That whoever was operating the house had an interest in. There's a house to my right. Over there in a second. Oh, there's also this. Is this Sloop already? It's Sloop already. Wait, did I miss that house? I did. Oh, or did I? Abandoned. Turn on weapon craft. We've been just not walking around even with scouting on. Hell yeah, gonna use that up in a hurry. Welcome to Sloop. Locklear could smell alcohol. Pushing the door of the shop open, he was met by a sharp-faced fellow who was carrying a wooden keg. Quickly dumping it with a pile of other casks, he wiped his hands off on a towel, then extended his hand. Harlan, he said, I'm the brewmaster around here when I'm not hauling things about. Where exactly is here? Locklear replied. This is the Upturned Keg. We're the best brewery this side of the Romney. Would you care to sample some of our stock? We make a dandy apple wine, the proprietor said. I can have some decanted for you. Refusing as politely as he knew how, Locklear shook his head. We have to keep our heads about us, he said. The long road ahead, and there's been some trouble around, so I hear. We'll leave you to get back to your business. Can't buy anything from there. That's probably fine. The fact that it was mentioned is kind of like, that's interesting to know, so... the front door of the small house had a crudely made sign which read, Unusual items for sale. Locklear knocked and waited for someone to answer the door. A tall, shadowy man appeared and ushered them into the house. You come to buy something, yes? He asked through crooked yellow teeth. I guess that depends on what you're selling, friend, Owen replied. They followed the man to a large wooden table. It was covered with about a dozen items, mostly junk, but then one caught Locklear's eye. Tell me about this piece. Where did you get this? He asked, picking up a broken medallion that looked as though it had been stepped on more than once. The man eyed them nervously. I found it around here somewhere. Would you like to buy it? He made a half-hearted sales pitch, then seemed almost relieved when his offer was rejected and he was told they had to leave. Turning to Owen, Locklear said, Did you notice the Nighthawk emblem on that medallion? I would say there's definitely are, or were, Nighthawks in this area. All right, so Nighthawks, a thing to be concerned about. Oh, a temple, yeah. The house was obviously deserted. Still, Locklear thought it would be a good idea to knock. No sooner had his knuckles touched wood than the door swung open freely. He blinked several times as his eyes adjusted to the murky darkness. Doesn't seem to be anything. Suddenly, a scrawny ball of fur exploded out of the house, raking Gorath painfully across the face. Damnation, Locklear cried. Cat must have been trapped in there for days. He caught his breath and went over to check on Gorath's injury. How injured? Christ. Yeah, Gorath took a bit of a beating there. Wow. Temple? Ah, looks like this used to be a temple of some kind, but it appears this place was abandoned some time ago. All right. Anything behind the temple? Doesn't seem to be. This place is abandoned. Holy shit. Wow. What is going on here? I mean, if there's Nighthawks in the area, maybe that's going to be a problem too. A pretty woman of about 30 answered Locklear's knock. She came to the door holding a leather-bound book. Looking past her into the house, Locklear could see 4 or 5 children of various ages. I'm afraid you gentlemen are a little old for my classes, she said. Yes, okay then. Well, we won't disturb you any further. Goodbye, miss. After the door closed, Locklear turned to Owen and said, Don't give me that look. Teachers always make me nervous. Maybe a shop? Indeed it is. Galilee's Jewels. Do you do anything? Just this. Ah. They're all 100%, which is a hell of a thing. Yeah, just kind of your bog standard, got some nice keys. I don't think they're going to take anything else off my hands that I've been waiting to get rid of. Like this thing. Yeah. I think we're good overall. Standing in front of the wooden door, Locklear paused to marvel at the construction of the house. Unlike many such houses, this one had apparently been built quite soundly and out of good materials. He knocked on the solidly built door. A moment later, a large man appeared in the doorway, his sandy-colored hair dancing around his head thanks to a gentle breeze. You fellas come about a house? No one builds them better, he said proudly. Locklear took a step back. We were just admiring the job you did. Very nice work. Unfortunately, we're just passing through. They talked to the man for a few minutes, discovered there was a temple on the other side of town, then left. I mean, we went to the temple, and it had been abandoned. And no one seems to be about. And that's probably not a time-based thing. I don't know if there are many time-based things in this game in the first place. It is also weird that the road to enter Sloop, like, curls around a lot. Like, the town is situated next to the hills. You come in from the south to go to Sloop, but there's, like, nothing for a while before you actually enter it. It's a very weird feeling. Can't. I mean, a lot of this early flavor text as well is, I understand, like, what we're seeing right now for flavor text is largely because, I can't get in there now, can I? Nope. Largely because this will be stuff you see in Chapter 2. So, you know, you can front load a game with a lot more, like, descriptives and other things going on, which is nice. You get through Chapter 1, you've done a lot of reading, and it's like, okay, but now let's explore more of this outer area. Locklear smiled, weapons in hand. 2 men stood face to face, their stubble-blued faces flushed as they exchanged loud insults. You may quit now, fellows. I've seen it before, Locklear said. I'll not be jumping in to save either of your necks, and consequently I'll not be giving either of you my pouch. Very well then, Smellwell man. We do this the hard way. I'll go over here. Locklear engages with this dude. And Gorath, the same. Why are you constantly missing? To spare thy eyes. Oh, there's chests here. Okay. Yeah, sure, let's give it a shot. Or I'll just miss. 56, you get up a little bit more. That's it, walk closer. Oh, damn. I've changed my mind. Have you? I've been fighting trolls all this time, my dude. I have not been able to actually kill many bad dudes, so I wish to kill some bad dudes. I mean, yeah, I guess all the trolls that we were encountering, I could have just been like, despair thy eyes, powder bag, you know, and then just work on them and hit them a whole bunch, and that would have also helped raise our, raise all of our relative abilities. And I guess I maybe should have been doing that, but oh, I had weapon craft on the whole time, and there's that. Whatever. We'll leave scouting on. That's fine. No, I want the one that we need to use up. I should let Gorath do his, actually. Excellent. Can have that back. And bang, bang, bang. I guess I could use his hammer. Sure. Great. Have that back too. They were blue-faced because of the stubble. Stubble starts to grow out a little bit. The color of your face starts to get a little bit dappled and changed by the fact that seeing you from a distance, it's like, oh, you look like you look grayer. It takes kind of the red out of your cheeks, I guess, a little bit. So the idea of being blue-faced. Also a very popular way of representing that kind of skin tone in manga that happened quite a bit back in the day. Oh yeah, Loki's going to get a lot of exercise with weapon craft at the moment. And that, and that, and I can give him that back because I don't think I need to give him anything else. But shit. Oh, whatever. Wordlock boxes. Kingdom fools are born without. A lot of this, there is no doubt, hair. New Ring of Pranger? Brand new Ring of Pranger. That. I'll just put it back in the box. Why not? I'll leave that ring there. It'll be fine. I mean, I wasn't born with all this hair. Came by it honestly, though, just by letting it come out. A barrel of rainwater weighs 20 pounds. What must you add to make it weigh 15? Fire. W. Oh, holes. Nice. Steel fire. Do we have that? We do. Not going to bother taking it, maybe. Maybe I should and sell it. I won't bother taking it. I don't give a shit. Third box. No. Not without checking first. He believes it is safe. Well. Yeah, this is probably definitely the sense where it's like, you might not be able to get into this at this point in the game. So unless you want to sit here and grind picking for a while. So there you go. There's a lot of rubies. Again, don't really need those. Oh, lockpick went up. That's nice. To 98%. At some point, he's not going to need that Amulet of the Upright Man, which is fine. Did I even do this one? I don't think we did. Oh, should have concentrated again. Ah, some Blessed Broadswords. 1%. Largely don't need any of that. I do like, though, that you come over that way and you have this fight on your hand. A man appeared in the doorway, his raven hair dusted with gray and the lines around his eyes hard. He looked on them with gravity, the weight of his stare deep and penetrating. This is the house of Madame Hafra, he rasped. Future, speaking with the dead, rumors, we will require payment of 50 gold. Do you wish a session with Madame? Yes? Hang on. 50 gold, Locklear choked. I don't believe so, no. I can just as well cast a stone river and read the ripples on its surface as you throw that much gold away. Then you sleep with the Rusalki, the man hissed in reply. Be gone. Alright, well. Put the bookmark down. Yes. Locklear produced the requested amount and handed it over, following the tall man. Just before pushing aside a curtain, he halted and whispered to them. Do not question some of the things my wife may say or do, he said. We've recently lost a daughter and has shaken Hafra's belief in some of her abilities. Please, if she asks for acceptance, no matter what she may have said, please treat her kindly. Without another word, he shoved aside the curtain and allowed them into a rear room where Madame Hafra waited. Seated at a table, she wore a woven brocade vest over a lightly dyed peasant's blouse, and her hands and neck were ornamented with bright wooden beads. Please have a seat, she muttered, waving a brightly nailed hand at the rude chairs set across from her. As she spoke, her eyelids fluttered as if she were speaking through an alcoholic haze. I may provide 3 services for you. We may speak of local rumors, I may tell thee of the future, or I may speak to the dead. Which would you have of me? Rumors. Rumors, she repeated quietly. Leaning forward in her seat, she met Locklear's gaze and held it, allowing her voice to harden. Rumors? I will tell thee of the only rumor about which I know. Many have come and spoken to me of Rusalki that roam the lands near the river Pilot's Folly at night, but these are lies. Startled with the ferocity with which the woman had bitten off the last word. Lies! Lies! Locklear shrugged his shoulders. I had not heard anything of them. Do not seek the Rusalki, she continued, her voice frantic. They have no harm to anyone. Although he had remained quiet as Hafra had begun to rant, Bella moved forward and touched her on the shoulder, seemingly relieving the wildness that was overcoming her. These gentlemen are friends, he said quietly. You will not be injured. Taking his hand, she nodded once, then looked back at Locklear. You will forgive me. This has touched our lives, but I can explain no further. The future, then. Very well, Hafra said with a weak smile, her posture relaxing visibly as she leaned back into the overstuffed cushions of her sitting chair. We shall tell your future. Her eyes half closed, she looked dreamily at Locklear, licking her lips as she spoke. When you are driven on the longest road, you will seek to destroy the instrument of deception, but will find need to deceive those who guard the way. In the very last place, you will find that salvation is with the man who seems a boy. All right. Folding her hands in her lap, she looked on them serenely, her face beginning to resume the look of her age. This is the fate I see for you, she said, the slight tremolo in her voice betraying a hint of nervousness. The fates have spoken through me. Well, I will accept that. Detecting how important it was, the fortune teller, they believed what she had told them. Locklear leaned forward and patted the old woman's hand. We believe you, Hafra, he said, reinforcing the words with a flash smile. Ah. Believing the session was over, Bella stepped forward to escort them out, but Hafra motioned for him to keep his place. I do not believe they were finished, she said, treating him with a faint smile. For the price you have paid, they may continue to ask questions. So, strangers, as I told you before, we may speak of local rumors, I may tell thee of the future. We may speak to the dead. Which would you have in me? The dead? Closing her eyes, the old woman shook as if a tree bowing beneath the winds of a howling gale, her lips drawn taut, and her face drained of color. After several moments of effort, she shook her head. I cannot help you. Lim's Kragma holds those you wish too tightly. Lim's Kragma is the god of the dead. And I believe we're done. Notice that Gorath appeared to be drifting off. Locklear threw him a sympathetic smile. I think we've heard enough for now, Madame Hafra. Perhaps we will come and see you again. Very well, she replied. Bella shall show you out. So, I think the idea is if you come here in different chapters, she will give you a sense of what you might be doing or a hint towards what might be happening. I am unclear on that. All the dead dudes are over here, aren't they? Yep. Great. And another little road to go off of. I have a feeling that she might have been talking because we had managed to go talk to Jason in chapter 1, which is something that you can only do when you talk to him in chapter 1. I have a feeling that he might be like the man who seems a boy. That might be the thing there. It's like he might be the one who helps sort something out for us. I don't know. Well, I wonder why that is. I like that the keep out is on that. I wonder if it's on the other one too. Doesn't seem anyone's about. Oh, we have wells. Let's check that well. No one has been poisoned. No one has been poisoned. Yeah. Is it too early in the morning, maybe? Or is it just something that doesn't trigger until later, or until I walk along this path a little bit more? There's lots of corn. Maybe this person just wants their privacy. Another keep out sign. Yep. There's a little house. The owner of a house, a bearded man of about 50, obviously saw Locklear approaching because the door swung open before he had a chance to knock. Good day to you, sirs. My name is Buck Roush, and who might you be? Locklear made the appropriate introductions, and the man smiled at them warmly. Then he said, the river has been fruitful this season. Could I interest you find Jensen some dried trout, or perhaps you would like to buy one of my handmade shovels, or maybe a torch? Yes? A tiny store. Very good then. Step right this way, gentlemen. Wait until you taste my dried trout. I season with fresh basil and just the right amount of sea salt. He smacked his lips loudly as he led them inside. Rations, shovel, torch, just like he said. Now, would you like to buy a hammer? No. All right. Well then, who cares? I mean, do I need... You know what? What the hell? Haggling's at 100%. Let's get these guys on haggling and see if I can't get theirs up. Sure. $14. Excellent. There's a buried thing here. Some royals, a shell, and 1 rations, which we don't need. I don't think there's anything else buried beyond here. God, yeah, I know it's all cornfields, and it's like, that's too bad it's all just cornfields. It's not something different. But, you know, early game, you don't... Not usually, like, a lot of choices of things that might happen. Let's get scouting back on. Cool. Locklear stopped. With a puzzled look on his face, he turned to Owen. There are some men up ahead, and judging by their strides, I'd say they were guarding something. Perhaps we should avoid this area until we can find out what they're up to. Do I have an option? Can I go around them? No. Locklear heard a belch. Ahead of them, a mercenary took a last swill from a bottle of alcohol before throwing it aside. We've got us a nice arrangement here, he said. Me and the innkeeper at the River Pilot's Folly. Too bad you decided to muck about with me. You'll be sorry you crossed swords with Krondor. Ah, spellcaster. Well, first things first. Zot. Alright. Turn everything on. That's first things first. Locklear. You know what? I think it's Arrow Day. Take that in your chest. Gorath. Already ready. Smack. God, I wish you would hit on the first try. All I ask. Another quarrel. Arrowed. Swing. Yep. I have ruined a man's day. Arrowed? Arrowed. Yep. Good to hear. All right, we're going to be picking up dude's stuff. Might as well just get to the armor craft right now. Turn on his weapon craft. And turn scouting off. All right. Just seeing like the armor and the swords at this point and just kind of thinking to myself, I'm like, yeah, that was super good back when I could like... I need to repair that too. You know, find some like elven armor and you're like, yeah, man, yeah. Let's do his armor while we're at it as well. Polish the weapon. Great, that's good. He's got his stuff back, at least what I'm giving him back. Ah, yes. What's an arrow? I only know quarrels. You're right. These are not arrows. They're quarrels, right? Good. And good. That's nice to see. Spellcaster. There we go. Oh. Mortal Brooch. 80? Yeah, okay, we'll take it for now. Bunk. And that too? Nice. Oh. Yeah. They seem to be guarding something. Claws like a cat, crooked as a snake's hiss. Patch together your guesses. You won't guess this. Patch. Claws crooked. OBTC. Obtuse. Claws like a cat, crooked as a snake's hiss. Patch together your guesses. You won't guess this. Patch. So we have T, C, O, B. Oh, Thistle? No. Briars. Briars. Well, get some keys back if I need them. Not like I need them. And not like we even need pick locks at this point. That was that one? Yeah. So Locklear's at 98. Like... And that's fine for now, obviously. I mean, we're going to lose him soon, and having full lockpick is probably fine. Probably end up... Christ. All right. I don't want any of these things. Don't care about any of these things, largely. I'm not even putting like stuff on my swords in the first place. Maybe I should just do that. Grab this. Like, hey, look. As Locklear slid the tip of the magical artifact down the length of the sword, a glittering blue frost formed on the blade. Assuming his victim wasn't using some form of Sarik's Bane in his armor, the enchantment would make any wound done with the sword incredibly painful. Great. Frost enchanted, why not? Cool. And I don't need a new shovel, I don't think. But why not just have the best one always? The game does call them pick locks, actually. So I should refer to them as pick locks. Who works when he plays and plays when he works? SpongeBob SquarePants. Bard. Oh-ho! True Sight tea. Haven't seen that in a bit. Tea was darkish gray-black, brewed by the elves from roots unique to Evander. The concoction had a strong herbal aroma and was often sold as a highly priced spice, though Locklear valued more its fleeting tendency to sharpen sight, a quality which an archer friend had once demonstrated. Armor craft. Bang, bang, bang. Great. Yeah, I mean, at some point, I guess maybe if I take the amulet off of Locklear for now, that changes him to 83%, gives Owen a bit of a boost. So if I wanted Owen to start picking locks, we could do that, and he could get very good at that as well. That would mean moving the lockpicks to Owen also, and then he could be giving it a shot. I wonder if it would go up. Maybe not. I was gonna be like, I wonder if it would go up if you spread the lockpicks around, if everybody's would go up at the same time, but that's a word lock box. We don't want to do this again. So if I tried this, okay, so it doesn't matter who holds the lockpicks. It's whoever's selected. Yeah, he's gonna ruin all these lockpicks because they're just not gonna get there. But that's fine. Now it's just select whoever you want at the bottom and have them be the one who does the lockpicking, which means anybody can hold the lockpicks, and who cares? Oh, food and lodging. This isn't even a town; it's just a place. Well, I could use maybe a bit of both. Let's see. It's an inn. Ah, all these ladies. So we've got Bard, exit. Let's start from the exit. Talk, one finger, barmaid, finger again, innkeeper again, Bard, done. Gorath, this is the Rapid Brooks Inn. Gorath elbowed Owen in the ribs, noticing the color rising in his young companion's cheeks as they surveyed the three young ladies who graced the common room. With other matters on their minds, the attentions of a soft-spoken female could be fatally distracting should a fight break out in the confines of the room. Fair enough. Barmaid. 4 rations. That's definitely inexpensive. Or you're not getting much for what you're supposed to be getting. Bard it is. It's like, Owen, there's ladies here. So go get the loot. Ah. 60 sovereigns. Owen coughed. You should see a priest about that, the woman said. How long have you been afflicted with it? Only just now. I have a small problem with smoke, Owen replied, gesturing to a corner of the tavern where a wood fire was burning in the hearth. I doubt the brothers of Sung would be much interested. She nodded, staring down to the dregs of her wine cup. Unless you've a mortal wound or a plague, or you've been stupid enough to fall prey to poison, I never found that priests serve much use other than to babble on about the trivial. So, all right, there you go. Lets you know what that's all good for. We've seen that before. We'll talk to her now. Again, same thing, actually. Talk! The gambler shook his head. We took all of his whatever. Innkeeper. Innkeeper smiled. Welcome, gents. It's going to be dark pretty soon. You should think about spending the night. Dangerous out there. Dangerous? Questioned Locklear. Why is that? The innkeeper leaned forward and whispered. The dead have taken up refuge in these parts. They stalk the roads by night and have been attacking travelers. If I were you, I'd think about staying here tonight and getting an early start in the morning. 72 sovereigns for the night. Wow. Holy shit. Probably not this then. Yeah, right? It's like, oh, you might want to stay here. It's like 72 sovereigns? It's like been like 7 or 9 or whatever. No. All right. At least our barding went up. I mean, we made a whole bunch of money there, and I have lots of money, but I'm not going to do it. All right, so now he's going to send dead people to attack us, right? That's the whole scam. It's a tavern. River Pilot's Folly. Within the accommodations were humble. Ah, yes, we've talked about that too. Barkeep? Well, you can bard, so why not bard? Bard. 95 sovereigns. I can finally afford to stay somewhere. So what's funny is in my little help web thing that I have here, there's a it talks about the 2 inns sector outside of Sloop, because we're in the zone that we're in. There's lots to explore around here, but we're in the 2 inns area, which I do think is pretty interesting. Let's talk to people. What are my options? A finger, a talk, Archie. Okay, let's do this guy. Where are you headed? Any place interesting? We've done this before. Yep. Talk. Good day. I rather just enjoy my ale. We have talked to this kind of dude before, so he'll have more interesting stuff probably later in the game. Innkeeper. Innkeeper smiled. Welcome, gents. It's going to be dark pretty soon. You should think about spending the night. Dangerous out there. Oh yeah. 25 sovereigns for the night. Though if you louse my beds, I'll charge you double. Yeah, okay, we'll stay here for the night. I could stand to stay here for a bit anyway. It's a lot of money still, my dude, but also, yeah, River Pilot's Folly was the inn that's like, I had a deal with some dude at the innkeeper of the River Pilot's Folly. So let's see what happens. 45.50 and 3. 45.25. Yeah, we'll go one more time. I should have 4,500 left over, I'm pretty sure. Meant to click this. We have 4,503. That's perfect. Didn't get robbed. Didn't have anything else weird happen to us. Scouting. 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 Anything behind the inn? Nothing behind the inn. Nothing in this direction, I don't think. Oh, wait. These are the things those guys were guarding, right? We've done these before. Yep, we did these already. All right, this is gonna probably hurt a lot. Though I do have really good stuff on, so turn that off. I'm going to be stopping really soon. We're going to do this fight. They caught their opponents by surprise. Rushing forward, Owen desperately tried to recall what little he knew of temple magic. He regretted not having spent more time studying the texts on the Midkemian goddess of death, Lim's Kragma. Within seconds, they were upon the ashen-faced creatures. These are Rusalki. That might not have worked, because it didn't make a sound. That hit. Okay, so let's see here. Might do some Hocho's Haven. Or should I just go full aggro on these guys? Well, we already cast Hocho's Haven. Can't cast it on myself either. Will that be enough? Flaming Quarrels. 97%. We can probably hit this. Yep, okay. I should really have cast Hocho's Haven on Gorath here. We'll give him a lot. 79%. Oh, damn. I think it's all line of sight, so I might be better off if I just stood behind Gorath. 81%. 4/5 of the time, it hits every time. Good. Gone. Owen casts it again. Might have to go back to the inn. What can I do here? I guess rest a bit. Two misses is not great. Oh, because Gorath's so injured, that's why. All right. Locklear's ability crossbow, accuracy crossbow gone up. Yeah, you know what? We're going to stay here. Yep. Yeah, seem to be in good mood. Another 25 sovereigns a night, I guess. Oh god, yeah. That's 100 sovereigns it cost me. Fine, though. It is morning. All right, so we fought some Rusalki. We did the whole thing. We're gonna save and end for the evening. We were in the 2 inns sector. Didn't quite make it to Silden. We'll make it to Silden on Tuesday, I believe. And we've marked that. I can come out of the game briefly and go back to the booth. Welcome back to the booth. So this has been Play It Forward for the evening. I'm Beej. You've been watching me play Betrayal at Krondor from 1993. Old DOS game that I never beat, and now we are taking the long way around. Eventually we will get to Krondor. Probably not next time, maybe next Saturday. I think we'll actually be able to hit that. We'll see what happens. I don't know if we're going to go into the Dimwood or not. If we don't go into the Dimwood, then that's fine. Up next is tomorrow is Rhythm Cafe, and following Heather and Ian playing some Rhythm Cafe, there's going to be Is This Your Card? So please tune in for those. Monday, I think, brings about a new Dice Friends. Still ticking along on that. Wait, no, Can't Draw Horses Club comes over for Dice Friends. So yes, definitely tune in for Can't Draw Horses Club. Corey welcomes some guests. I believe this week it is Heather. I actually don't know who else she's mentioned. So I do know that Corey is on. That's great. Doing that. And then Dice Friends in the evening. And then on Tuesday, it's your standard loadout, I believe. We have 9 o'clock, followed by, I want to say Combat Simulator. I don't know why. Talking Simulator. Then Let's Nope. Then I return another Play It Forward, leading us into the rest of the week. If you want to know what's going on for the rest of the week, loadingreadyrun.com/live will give you the schedule. And I want to thank everybody who backed us on, who is currently backing us on our Patreon, patreon.com/loadingreadyrun. A great way to help support keeping all of us doing all the things. There's a lot of us, and so it is always very helpful to have you guys backing us. The YouTube memberships available through youtube.com/loadingreadyrun. That's our main channel. If you go there, you can back us if that's a way that you'd like to give us money that maybe you don't want to do it through Patreon. But also here on Twitch, we have a lot of subs, and I have some subs tonight, I believe. I have to go through all of them, and I'll read them out in a second. You can also buy stuff from store.loadingreadyrun.com. If you find things that we're out of and you are interested in buying them in the future, I do keep an eye on stock, and I like to restock stuff where people have been putting in their email addresses. You'll notice if something is out of stock, like a size in a shirt, or maybe you want the RoadQuest water bottle or something, which I believe is currently out of stock. You can just put your name down. The system will email you when it comes back into stock, and I check those all the time to see how many people are interested in buying stuff, and then try to reorder for things that I know we can actually reorder stuff for. Sometimes you just can't reorder things. So, yeah, please do that if you're interested in buying things from us. And now, let's thank everyone who subbed, starting with Panstravaganza, who got to watch this live. Congratulations, Panstravaganza. 34 months, and Supermain 888 for 64 months. Death Likes Cats dropped 5 gift subs in the channel. Thank you for that. This is all 4 hours ago. Rob Raccoon with 5 gift subs as well. Thank you, Rob Raccoon. Madmansk for 33 months. Vlanoik for 41 months. Lord Hosk had those nice 69 months and dropped them on my stream. That's so awesome, Hosk. Thank you. I don't know if you stuck around or not, but glad that you did. Driacenth for 65 months, Ark of the Conclave for 35, Lonely Text for 61, Shattered Shamrock for 38. I'm reading you guys all off my screen that's over here, so I'm not looking at you while I'm doing this. My apologies. The Other Pen for 4 years, Aquinas 0 for 40 months, Q Monster Games for 9 months. That's your sub babby right there. Aquinas 0 with 100 bits as well. Iced Sly for 51. Vandestreen just subscribed. Welcome to the channel, Vandestreen. I don't know if you're still here or not. It's about 2 hours ago, but thank you for dropping a sub on us. We appreciate it. Wizard Zed for 93 months, which I believe is the limit. We don't have the little cute thing that shows the flashy whatevers, but thank you, Wizard Zed, for your ongoing support. Mola Molifant for 32 months. Mach Kaimus for 53 months. That's when the raid happened. Just after that from Brave New Faves. Crush Castles 23 with the 35-month resub. Ed Roach for 83 months. That's a lot of months too. Roadhog 123 for 35. Kodra 22 for 44 months. Pixel Art Dragon for 32 months, who just finished their playthrough Betrayal at Krondor for the second time last night. Happy to see the game get so much love. I'm happy to give it. It's going to be a lot of love. We're going to be here for they got brought up at one of our meetings recently where it's like, hey, so by this point, we're doing X thing. And it was like, hey, so that might also intersect with Beej doing Play It Forward though, right? It's like, no, he'll be well done Play It Forward by that point. To which the response was, will he? Will he though? Olveron for 27 months, that's a cube. Serpent 77 for 34 months. Ryle Grimrick for 39 months, dropping that cursed Final Fantasy 14 meme. And Seabats showing up a half hour ago for 81 months, wanting me to show them, him, my fucking these feet, no chance. I'll show you. I am wearing these though. This is what I wear on my feet. These are discount Crocs. They're called Sloggies. They were when we were in Penticton on vacation. I realized that I would need shoes to help me get around the campsite and in and out of the tent all the time, and I hated the fact that it's like socks and sneakers and whatever. It's so hot and it's like 30 degrees out in Penticton. This is years ago. We're gonna buy more comfortable shoes. I went looking for thongs, couldn't find thongs. So, but we're like, but we can find these in like a London Drugs. So it's like, well, let's buy a couple pairs of these and we can wear these on our feet. We can go to the two beaches, have a great time. You don't have to worry about these too much. So that all felt great. Big stretch. That's it for the stream. I could just hang up on you guys. It fine though. Right. Yeah, there'll be more Krondor on Tuesday. Until then, please behave yourselves. I want you to, like I say a lot, stay healthy, stay safe. Stay inside if you can. Get that vaccine if it's available to you, and if it is not available yet, to you, hang in there, stay strong. I guess that's the other thing. If you can't get a vaccine, I know you can endure. So hang in there. I know I got my first one. My friends are still waiting on their first ones. We're all going to get there together. This has been a very long process. And if you can't stay inside and you got to go to work and you don't have a vaccine yet, I'm hoping for you that it's all going to work out well. So, stick to it. Thank you very much. Have a lovely time. We'll see you later.